MakingStarWars.net.
Hey, YouTube.com. I'm Jason Ward from MakingStarWars.net. And how's it going, sketchy friend?
I'm at the Disney Apologist store right now, just hanging out. That's what I do now. I just echo. It's all great. What's wrong with
Yeah.
this?
Yeah, I think they're changing the store name to the Rever Barn. That's what they're calling it. It's going to have overpriced Rever products. All Rever products.
Reva Barrel.
Reva Barrel, yeah. Creighton Reva.
Reva Farms. It's all smoked, like hut food and shit, you know?
Oh, man. Yeah, so.
Nobody knows what I'm talking about. Two people. Yeah. Santa knows.
Santa knows. Santa was there. Yeah. So, yeah, Santa says, thank Reva, it's Friday. Arya says, you forgot Padme on your thumbnail. And I told her what happened. I wasn't the guy for her. You know, I couldn't kill those Tuskens. I thought they were little adorable little things, and I just couldn't do it.
Like
how
you putting up your own chats now.
Oh yeah. I mean,
that's great.
I mean,
this is too.
I mean, make set me this, and I'm gonna use it. Here we go. Find everybody. It's like a thing I do now. It's all about me. But anyways, yeah. So if you guys have anything you want to talk about in the old chat, let me know. Our buddy Bestman Bulletin. So I don't know. I don't know if he was able to release these stories or if he was just being like, I don't want to deal with these assholes. But Bestman's been telling me about Jedi Survivor for a very, not a very long time, but I'd say a couple weeks at least. Maybe months, but probably weeks.
And if you're wondering if Jason tells me any of this stuff, no, man, I do keep it a secret.
I don't tell anybody stuff. I don't tell anybody anything. Then because that way, nobody can get mad at me unless they want me to. But yeah. So Jedi Fallen Order sequel, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, releasing in February or March of 2023, and that was one of the things because when Bestman and I were talking, we were hearing stuff about Star Wars Celebration and what they were planning to do with the game and announcements and how they were going to handle it. And it was like always kind of like fluctuating. And Bestman was hearing, didn't sound like it was going to come out this year, you know, and that's something he's been saying for a long time. And at one point we theorized together in a conversation, I don't know who came up with it, but that maybe they were going to make it next gen only to get it out in time. And then coincidentally, I think he told me the Batman game is doing that as well. So
the Gotham Knights?
Gotham Knights is doing something just like that. But I don't know if that's the case here, but obviously this game's not coming out in the time we were hoping. They never announced a time, so it's hard to say it's late, but according to internally, it's not really making what they wanted, I guess. So Fallen Order sequel, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, releasing in February. By the way, here's my other thing. I don't know if anybody has commented on this specifically or if it's that, but I get that like it's supposed to be like Jedi, then Fallen Order, Jedi, then whatever. I don't know. Shouldn't it be Jedi, Star Wars, Jedi Survivor? Like, won't it just probably be like Jedi with something else? Because Star Wars Jedi Survivor sounds weird to me. You know, it sounds weird. And when Bestman was bringing this up, he was bringing up Beyonce and shit. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't, Bestman, what are you talking about? Beyonce. All I know is Above and Beyonce. Past that, I don't know anything. But I would suggest.
Meanwhile, Santa's in the shower singing the moment of truth, right? It's a moment of truth.
I told Bestman he should have teased everybody with it sounds like Eye of the Tiger. That's, you know, it's the eye of the tiger, it's the thrill of the fight. That's Survivor as I know it. But also I can't help but think of that show I never watched with the people on the fucking island.
I prefer Children of the Night.
Yeah.
Santa.
It'd be cool if they're like, actually, it's called Star Wars Jedi Reva. It's a video game all about what if Red had been a Jedi. Okay, yesterday, video game journalist and reliable insider Jeff Grubb took to his giant bomb show, Grubb Snacks, where he revealed the title to the highly anticipated sequel, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which he revealed as Jedi Survivor. And now, today, he's updated us with a rough release window. And to be clear, Bespin does not get the credit on that one. Jeff Grubb does. It was Grubb's scoop, but gotta say, like I said, I don't know what Bespin's what the climate was on the leaks to him and if he was able to talk about it or not. But man, Bespin, you got to get on it, man. This guy.
He was like, I couldn't talk about it anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
He sits on some golden eggs. I will say that much.
If he can't ruin his sources,
Oh, of course not. Of course not. No, and I don't know if that's what it is. So I'm trying not to bust his balls too much, but at the same time, it is fun to bust his balls. That GamesBeat journalist.
Like rage. Hold on. Meanwhile, in Wales, he's just raging, right?
He's like, oh,
kill those fucking guys! You know what, Beyonce?
Man, damn, Bespin Bulletin versus man, damn, making Star Wars. It's on. Ah! Yeah, that sounds.
Oh, Lottie fucking dot, right?
Like... But Rob, you're my main weapon. The GamesBeat journalist took to Twitter to reply to theories that Microsoft would bring a major third-party title to Xbox Games Pass day and date due to the lack of 2022 exclusives from Xbox. One Twitter user theorized Madden 23 or Jedi Survivor could be day and date on the service, to which Grubb shot down and said Jedi Survivor is February or March. We've known Jedi Survivor would release sometime in 23 for a number of weeks, and that a late 2022 was initially the plan, but it could easily slip into the following year. Grubb also previously revealed one of the reasons Respawn and EA aren't creating PlayStation 4 and Xbox One versions of the title is because of its 2023 release date. Recently, EA themselves revealed that they plan on releasing 4 currently unannounced video games in addition to their annual blah blah boring not Star Wars, don't care video game stuff. However, the others have theorized that it could be a new title from Joseph Fares. Yeah, whatever. However, now with Grubb's claims, it seems likely so the partner title is Jedi Survivor. Okay, so that was the point. Typically, EA have launched their latest Star Wars title a month in advance of a big Star Wars live-action release. Previously, we saw EA's Battlefront reboot launch in February 2015 ahead of The Force Awakens, Battlefront 2 in November 2017 ahead of The Last Jedi. Fallen Order launch was a month before The Rise of Skywalker in November, and finally Star Wars Squadrons, which released a few weeks ahead of the second season of The Mandalorian. Yeah, classically, like that's been kind of like how they roll, you know? They like always try to get that like I hate the word, but synergy going between like, oh, okay, like in October, that's when like the new Clone Wars would come out with the Star Wars novel. You know, they would always kind of make those things interact to some way. So that way, whenever somebody mentions that, it mentions the other thing. I think it just maximizes your exposure without overexposing yourself. I said exposing yourself.
Remember the Gremlin in Gremlins 2?
Yeah. Remember the hot one? That was weird. I still feel weird about that one.
You can get a nice life-size replica statue if you're going to feel real weird.
Well, I asked Padme to cosplay and she wouldn't. She said, kill kids. It's like, no.
Just kill some kids. Yeah, just do it.
Yeah. So Luke mentions hearing Hayden talking on that BBC interview with you and Moses are awesome. He sounds so much like Matt Lanter's Anakin. That's interesting. I hadn't considered that. Yeah, I'm kind of like I kind of been laughing about it. Let me see if I have one of the photos on here still. I think I might. I don't know. Do I? Yeah, I do. So like this is like the. Let me share it. This is the photo. You know, that's like we were talking about the other day. Well,
yep.
The ones that are going around today, I don't have the other ones on me. I didn't save them because I don't care. But it's them like over like London or something, like with the background. And I'm like, you know, it's cool when the fucking Beatles do like a rooftop concert, you know, like back then, or even when U2 does that schlocky video. But you're like, hey, doing a I don't know, interviews like that it's just kind of weird. I just kind of don't get it, you know? It was just
It's
sort of
the
strange to me.
it's the get back to interviews. That's what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, it
Get
was just
back to like, all right.
I was like, I'm like looking at it, I'm like, you know, kind of want this to be Star Warsy. I don't know, maybe I don't know, maybe go do it down in El Segundo or something next time. You know, something else, somewhere else. But yeah, but I mean it is nice, you know, hearing them enjoy the work and what they did and stuff like that. It is nice. And from most accounts of what I heard, it was a pretty good production. Didn't seem troubled or anything like that. It seemed like people weren't getting along. It seemed like it was a good shoot. And I think that makes a pretty big difference in what you can get as opposed to a stressful, you know, shitty environment. Sketch Guy just proves he's paid by Disney. Yeah, he does. He just proves that constantly. But hey, it's Ben Maynard having lunch, tuning in. What are you eating, Ben? Because whatever you're eating is what we're gonna call you. So if it's a
I
shit
like
sandwich, your name is Shit Sandwich.
I like when I hang out at the stores that were all shut down for lack of profitability. They're talking about how I'm a paid shell.
Yeah, I know. You'd be a lot easy. I mean, like somebody pointed out, and which is truly the philosophy I've always had is it's hard to do a show like whenever I would go on someone else's podcast and just everything is good, everything's great. And I'm pretty enthusiastic. I think I'm fairly as enthusiastic as somebody could rationally be, or at least as I can rationally be. And I can only speak for myself, I guess. But when like everyone's just like everything's fantastic and everything's amazing, there's like nothing to talk about. Like I actually like that you don't like everything. It's actually like it keeps me grounded in the sense that like you know, if I'm just talking to super fans all day, you start to think that everything is fucking great and you lose some of
Well,
your critical faculties, or you start to feel like you're living in a simulation, whichever.
a close friend of mine the other day was saying that I'm way nicer to Marvel than to Star Wars. I guess he's keeping track, right? And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, well, one, there's like 30 Marvel movies to the fucking 9 or 10 Star Wars, and really the 4 or 5 we've gotten in the last year. So what you're thinking about is just how many times have I talked about a recent Star Wars movie versus a Marvel movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, second of all, when you bat a constant like B to me, you're doing well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like if you every now and then you get an A plus, but if you're averaging a B, who I'm not my father. I accept a B average. My father did
Yeah.
not accept a B average.
Yeah.
Fucking taskmaster. But so like I'm not that picky. I just feel that um Star Wars is also not at the same place. Like the history of Hollywood, and look, this is some mistake we make, right? The history of Hollywood is like as far as we're concerned when we were born was like the pinnacle of the fan thing, the culmination of it all was Star Wars, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's unfair because really the first film is fairly just a simplistic fun comedy with stakes, no different than Iron Man or a Thor movie.
But the
Like
best
it's really
shows were like the Dukes of Hazard and the A Team and Knight Rider, and you compare Star Wars to those, and you're like, what is this?
right. The
You know what I
problem
mean?
is Empire stepped it up. Like Empire stepped it up
Mm-hmm.
considerably. And people since then have just expected it to keep going further down the Empire path. And Lucas was like, no, it just costs too much. It's too much trouble, and then pulled it back. And it's been in conflict ever since.
Yeah.
So, but I do love me some Star Wars, man. I mean, I am legitimately excited about the Kenobi series,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, you know,
Like, who isn't?
it's music is the same way. I mean, you get that dopamine hit, and then you're forever searching for it, and you probably won't have it as good as you ever did, but you still keep hoping and trying for it. You know what I mean? And that's just
I
how it is.
recognize the best grunge music came out between 1991 and 1994, and then that's it. It's never
Sure.
coming back. Like
Oh
that's
well,
it.
yeah, because well, I mean, once it left and
That's it.
got out, you know. But
And I
also
do like
when you're 14 and you get that first dopamine hit of music really affecting you, nothing really competes with it ever again, too. That's just science. It's science.
It's science.
It's science.
The Boykins.
Yeah, but I mean,
man, I gotta tell you, am I not a show when I am excited about something? Do I not?
Oh, sure.
Go watch the Boba Fett episode 2.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? In the episode 6, and just watch 8-year-old Rob just fucking.
No,
she's amazing.
It proves. I mean, it proves when it works for you, it works for you. I'll say that.
Yeah, I buy a $300 fucking toy when it works for me. My wife's like, we don't have the room for this, asshole. I'm like, what if we got a really big tree and then I can hang it under the tree every year? She doesn't like it.
Well, you should have been like, maybe we could put some of your stuff on the inside of it, and then we'll have room. Duh, compromise marriage. Joel asks, and thanks to everyone for liking the video, subscribing to the channel, letting the video play the whole way through, and for being a channel member or Patreon supporter. Appreciate it a lot. Like a super lot. Joel Williamson, channel member, friend, colleague, starfighter, explorer, adventurer, ask, is Willow coming out this year? I have to be honest with you. Part 1, I don't actually fucking know. Part 2, they said it was. In part 3, it's kind of still filming. So I'm going to go with it's highly unlikely. I think it's going to be a 2023 release just based off of what's on the table right now. But also, I've always felt like they would be, I don't know. What do you think about this? So if you release Willow, like here's Willow, guys, and there's no Marvel and there's no Star Wars going on, is that better for Willow? Because everybody just goes like on Disney Plus, like, what's next? Oh, it's Willow. I'll try it. Or does Willow need something big going on to go, this is Willow, try it? Because I feel like if most people tried Willow, they would like it. I think if you like Star Wars, you're probably gonna like Willow. That's what I think.
If I have to put a Jack in a Box lunch down, right,
okay,
as a bet, right? If I gotta throw down a Jack in a Crack fucking,
you sound crazy to me because I will just eat Jack in the Box to win a bet. Like I would win a bet for Jack in the Box.
Yeah, well, you don't get to. You have to then eat it somewhere you hate. Like that's
okay.
the deal. And you go, bro, how do we know you really hate it? I'm like, you want to see me barf? Like, I don't know. You want me to save it? You know. Yeah. Anyway, if I had to put down a shitty meal bet, I would say that December 23rd, 2023, the Rogue Squadron weekend will be when Willow, in some form, be it part 1, part 2, whatever, will be there. If I had to put some money down on that, like, because they're not gonna replace that with another Star Wars something like that. That weekend is what it is. But if you had to drop like a nice holiday plus they love fantasy films. Like on the holidays, it'll be like their Lord of the Rings drop. They'll just drop Willow during the holidays and be like, there you go, Disney Plus. Enjoy it for Christmas.
Rob sent me this yesterday, and I've been laughing about it since he sent it to me. Like just randomly, like washing dishes. And I just start laughing. Stuck 71 hours in an elevator. Man kills wife and eats her. Philadelphia, 44-year-old Bruce Franklin was arrested this morning after he confessed to killing his wife and eating her flesh while he was stuck with her in an elevator. I mean, like that's like that's not a long time. You could go like 30 days without eating, not drinking, different scenario. But this guy was in there for like 3 days and he ate her. It's just really funny. And yeah, that's Tatooine. But anyways, it makes me happy. It shouldn't, but it does. It's just ridiculous.
Disturbing.
Yeah.
So ridiculous.
Army Hammer's like, I get it. I get it.
Ate himself to death.
But yeah. So anyways, Willow, I mean, Willow hasn't even had a trailer yet. And so
well,
I don't know.
I stole the show on Disney Plus Day.
Well, what I heard
for Lucasfilm.
Yeah. What I heard was that Willow had some cast changes happen. There were like major disagreements and some cast members were actually replaced. This was, I think, before Disney Plus. Was this before Disney Plus Day? I think so. So I think what we saw on Disney Plus Day should be like the cast. But so I think that, and with some like weather issues and production problems that happened, I think it like shifted things around. So I wouldn't be surprised if they were having to refilm things based off of the cast member changing. And excuse me. And with that, yeah, I don't know what to expect, but and I don't know when they would release Willow. Is the other thing. Like me and Bespin were talked about that one a lot. Like where does Willow fit into any of this? And right now, I just gotta say, I just don't think it does. I mean, we still got Andor to come out this year. Are there what Marvel shows are coming? Are you aware of any of the Marvel shows that are still
Yeah. So the Ms. Marvel series is up next, and then I
okay?
think She-Hulk is after that, and
Okay.
then there's one other fucking one, Secret Invasion. I want to say Secret, or is that next
So,
year?
well, that's that with Andor, Kenobi, and 3 Marvel shows is quite a bit for there to still be room for Willow. And there was someone was telling me before that in 2023, this whole like idea that two shows wouldn't go concurrently is going to go out the window. So I think that's kind of been the plan for this year, but I don't know if it will change before 2023 or on 2023. So, hey, Salvador, how's it going? Random question. The Ewok movies has a Night Sister witch. Sharel was portrayed by the same actress who was the Reverend Mother in Lynch's Dune. It's interesting. Yeah, that's true. Those things happen so close together. I don't know if it's just parallel thinking. Was she the go-to witch? You know, was she like did her agents have like, hey, this is your witch? You know, really like going around Hollywood, and it was that's all that it was, or is that what they were doing with it? But also,
Yeah.
I don't
on
think she her being a night sister was a retcon as well.
on Tatooine, she's called a sandwich.
Yeah.
She gets everywhere.
Ben says Hayden 100% sounds like he's trying to do the Lantner version of Anakin. Interesting. And maybe, I mean, it could be a good thing because I think when we get two things is that when you have Anakin in Attack of the Clones, in my opinion, I think he was trying to hide some of his Canadian accent. I think he was trying to sound a bit more American, and it sounded a little bit more deadpanned in response. Like his American was deadpan. And then you have
I
Lucas.
hate you.
Yeah, and then you have Lucas who's not really truly directing. He's like read the fucking lines and read them fast. Read them faster. Right. And then but what you have is so when you hear about like the flashback sequence that we've talked about where they flash back to them training in a dojo together, Anakin or Hayden at his what is about 40 years old had to go back and figure out what's an 18-year-old Anakin, 19-year-old Anakin's voice like. And I'm gonna assume that Matt Lantner might have had a lot of influence on that. And the other thing to remember is Matt Lantner's Anakin was literally them revising Anakin to make him more likable. Was them going like, let's not like Filoni going, let's make this guy not, such an asshole. That was kind of what they were going for. Let's make kids like this guy. So I could definitely see him
Lucas
going for that.
retcon. He's always supposed to be an asshole. That's how he turns. You can't change it. It's gonna break canon if he's not an asshole anymore. I have to fucking it's asshole.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. I got you.
Thanks for being a channel member, Des. Marvel Mania says, yeah, Gotham Knights announced at the last minute the other day that the previous gen versions were being canceled, which has angered a lot of people since it's only 5 months before release. Yeah, I can understand that. Like, I'm still hoping by the grace of the Bendu, I get a next gen console in time. As I'm excited for both the Star Wars games, and I'm excited for that Batman game. And if I do, I think I'll be able to actually, I think I'll be able by then to stream them, and it would just be fun to do some video game streams. I wish I could have done it with Lego Star Wars this gen. And by the way, on Lego Star Wars update, I know everybody cares about this. It's probably what on everybody's mind. Where's Jason at Lego Star Wars? I know, guys. I haven't updated you, and I'm here to tell you. A couple nights ago, I got all the characters. Yeah, we got them all. My kids were super happy. They're like, "Yay!" And then they played with it, and I was like, "Yeah,
You know what you could
I,
do?
I
You
provide for my family."
wait, hold on, man. I don't wanna laugh. It's like a sneeze. You can feel it coming. You know? You're trying to hold it back.
Yeah.
I should not laugh at that, but it's yeah. All right, so you know what you could do there, man, when you do get that set up,
Mm-hmm.
is you can just pop open Lego Star Wars again and do like Lego Kessel runs. Like how
Yeah.
fast can we with this character? No, 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 no. You know what I mean? You can do like little speed runs and stuff on Twitch. You know, get
The,
people
the,
get on for
the,
like an hour or something.
well, the one thing I have to say is like I play Fortnite with Bespin about every day. Just about every day we get together, and play a round or two or five, and when I'm talking, I'm terrible. Like I'm just not like focused. So yeah, but maybe it's a skill. I mean, Lego Star Wars you can't really lose. I don't even remember like the last time I died. I might fall off something or whatever, but like I don't think I've been killed in Lego Star Wars since like the first day I had the game.
So
It's pretty much
you
like
realize how hard this is, me working while we're doing this, right?
oh yeah.
Try it.
Mhm.
So search create work, and then also have like regular, jovial, entertaining conversations.
Yeah.
You know,
So this is a good question
talent.
from the Kidster says, "Do you think the second final Vader versus Kenobi fight will be anywhere as good as the fight in Episode 3?" And I have to say, like a lot of that is going to depend on your perspective. I like the fight in Revenge of the Sith. There's a lot of people that see like Phantom Menace's duel as like the epitome of quality when it comes to a duel, which I can understand. And there's like a lot of stuff in that duel that you're like, yeah, I know where you're going with it. Like when they're surfing on robots and stuff fighting, and people like just don't connect with that kind of thing. And I could see, yeah, like this guy. And so I could see like that perspective. I think at the end of the day, let's just pretend it does all of those things. It might very well may. I don't know like the intricacies of every aspect of it, you know. And I know Hayden said the duel is more like the fights that they used to do, but they also didn't get back the same sword master. So I'm gonna go. I don't know that there may be callbacks to moves that they did, which is I know that's what they did a lot of the times. So I'm not sure what to expect, but Hayden said that, and Hayden's not the guy doing the sword fighting in most of it, if any of it. So I don't know how much weight I would put like on that comment. So, anyways, what I'm going to say is, yeah, it really like I could answer it and just tell you yeah or tell you no, but it depends on what you value in those fights and what worked for you and what didn't. I think the feature of it's going to be that we're seeing Obi-Wan Kenobi, literally young Obi-Wan, anyways, younger Obi-Wan fighting Darth Vader in the suit, which is like a preconception we had of the prequels from day one that we never got. And the prequel trilogy, that is. So with that in mind, I think it's already going to give us something. Either way you cut it, and
Well, ideally,
mhm.
ideally you want a fight sequence again to inform you about something. That a fight sequence reveals information in the fight sequence. It teaches you about something. And
Yes,
from what I understand, given that it's two fights, is the first one we learned that Obi-Wan is greatly fucking overpowered, and in the second one we learned how he overcomes that. So that right there is already better than, to me, the Revenge of the Sith, right? Because we didn't learn anything. We learned at the very last second that the high ground matters, which I just don't understand. Like to this day, I'm doing the high ground math, and I'm like, Obi-Wan did not learn that in his fight
I
with
got
Darth Maul.
two
I
words
don't
to explain.
understand it.
Two words that will explain it. Legalize it. Then you'll get what the high ground. No, I'm sorry. No, I'm not skeptical that it's going to be good, and I definitely don't mean to insult any sources that I had or people that worked on the new film. Thank you for everything. Uh, all of our conversations mean a lot to me. That said, the one bummer that no one I think is really talking about is that they didn't get Nick Gillard back.
I
That
don't
would have
miss
been
him.
nice, huh?
Yeah, I know. I don't really miss.
You
I
can't
get what you're saying.
no you it's not his fault that George Lucas placed emphasis on drama in places that aren't
I
as.
didn't
I mean,
like his choreography in Attack of the Clones either. So
but
you
well,
know,
Attack of the Clones. I mean, what are you gonna do with Yoda? You know, and most, but I mean, like Phantom Menace. That's his fucking.
well, there was a Dooku fucking versus Obi-Wan and Anakin fight that was like it got real
Yeah,
close. You
because
don't have to
you
like
know why? No, that
why.
wasn't Nick. It was because he needed to write moves that they could face swap Count Dooku on when they were learning how to do face swap stuff at that point. That believe it or not, from a technical standpoint, that was the big thing, is that we were making 80-year-old Christopher Lee, whatever age he was then. They were able to do stuntman face swapping shit, and that was a huge hindrance. You could only do so much with it during Attack of the Clones. And then Lucas had these ideas like, oh, the fight's gonna be in the dark and
No,
shit like that. Like
I'm
I don't.
laughing because I'm just trying to imagine the Star Wars fan who really just wants Battle of the Heroes Part 2. And then we get like Vader with his cape like swinging. Fucking
That sounds
tether cord,
badass, dude. That sounds fucking cool. I'm all about that, actually.
But it probably
Yeah.
would look more like Batman Forever when he's swinging in, you know, and
Yeah.
that like and his cape's being blown back by a fan and shit. Like you don't want that.
Well, when I
You
was
don't
a
want
kid, I saw Return of the Jedi. When I got home that night, I got into my bed. I had Return of the Jedi blanket and sheets that I just got. And I got in there and I saw Darth Vader, and I looked up at my window, and I wasn't leaving that movie like Darth Vader's redeemed. I was like, Darth Vader's fucking terrifying. And I had this vision of Darth Vader swinging in on a rope like Batman through my window and the glass breaking. But it looked fucking badass. Like, I wish I could draw. I wish I had continued, because I needed to draw. It was fucking cool as shit. And but anyways, there are things with Darth Vader I can see visually being cool, like they could do, but
I don't think you want Vader and him standing there doing this. But
no,
edit
no, not.
that Battle of the Heroes down to like 5 minutes. That's what you want. You don't want this 15-minute long drawn out where they're just standing there fucking making figure eights with their sabers and shit. Like,
Yeah,
it's not. You don't want that.
of course. I mean, there's
Do
and
you
that's
think Vader toys with Obi-Wan?
but
Like,
but
like he does
I
with
still
Luke in
don't
Empire?
I still don't think you put that on Nick Gillard. I think they're trying to they're trying things. They're looking at it, and then ultimately it goes on Lucas and Ben Burt. They're the ones who edited it. That's when something didn't work or something is too long, something overstays its welcome. That was ultimately them. You know what I'm saying? They were coming up
Oh
with
yeah,
stuff
I
and putting
blame
it all
Lucas
in.
for much, but it's a broken record. I mean, I
Yeah.
was arguing with Lucas the other day on air. Like, me, this fucking
Yeah.
dude won't shut up. You know, like I told Nick I just want them to make figure nines, and he made figure eights, and then he didn't listen to me. So, you know,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Hey, Keeman. Keeman says the Reva controversy is doing wonders to distract people from Leia having a huge role in the show. Laugh out loud. Well, I'm making a video right now, and I was hoping to have it done this morning, and boy, did I not understand the amount of work that it was going to take for this video. And I wasn't going to do a show for a few minutes. And Rob was like, you could always release it later. And I'm like, well, I kind of want to get the video out because I want to contextualize everything, at least for the truth to be out there, X-Files style. And these people, though, I know they ultimately don't care. I mean, I'm seeing like a lot of those types like, oh, we don't know where this comes from. I can't find the original story. It's like, fucking bitch, you know where that came from. Me, you know it. And if you know it, you should show it. But anyways, where I'm going with this all is that yeah, I'm gonna put it out, and then if anybody continues to like do it, especially the people who get information from me and act like they don't, I don't know where it comes from. Well,
the story
then
came from Jason. The bait and switch is their shit. I just want to be very clear about this. We never won. I said I predict these assholes to pull a move, but the term bait and switch came from the assholes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. The bait and switch was not, I never said that. That was never in an article of mine. And I'm even
Right.
gonna, but and I gotta say it for the 1,000th time. When you look at the totality of the reports I put out, There's never a moment where you could logically think that. There's just not. You are, if you ever reported that, you contorted reality to fit a narrative that would get you super chats. That's what it was about. By the way, where's my fucking super chats, Ben? I'm kidding. So Chinese food, orange chicken. All right, so now your name is Orange Ben. That's your new
You
name,
know,
Orange Ben.
I ever hang out at your house, I can make you that. You'd really like it. I make
My house or
excellent from
Ben's?
scratch. Your house.
Okay.
I'm not going to Ben's house.
What do you got against Ben, dude? I mean, he's the one who likes it. But
I
yeah,
don't trust people. He might
orange
eat me
chicken
if
sounds.
it's stuck in a Vader.
I think I'm gonna. How bad for you is like orange chicken at like one of those divey
That
Chinese
sauce
to
is
go
all
places?
sugar, bro.
Is this really bad for you?
Yeah,
Damn, it sounds good right now. Want to mainline it like that and fucking
it's
Jack in the Box.
candy.
I want to eat so many Jack in the Box tacos, so much soy in me that I grow a second set of man tits, like Garga from Jabba's Palace. I could do that dance, you know? It always makes me laugh. It made me a few years ago when the Fandom Menace guys were all about soy boy this and soy boy that. And meanwhile, there was like one guy who's like drinking a beer, eating Jack in the Box tacos, calling me a soy boy, and I'm like, you're fucking literally mainlining soy right now, you jackass. But most people I've seen don't realize she's a big part of it. Yeah, that's true. And honestly, I feel like she may. I hope not. I don't want them to pick on child actors. I hate that shit. It's fucked up. And I hate when a production puts a child actor into the crosshairs by either casting them when they shouldn't or leaving too much on their plate. I don't think that's nice either of the production. That said, there's a child in this, and I'm gonna jump down to Darren's thing. Keeman and Darren are teaming up on us, and Darren asks, honest gut opinion, Jason, how well do you think Kenobi is going to be perceived once it's out? Do you think it will turn the opinions around? All these haters who are already calling the show. You know what? So here's the thing, Darren. Part one, the quote haters. What have the haters ever fucking liked? Of all of the years, what have they liked? They liked maybe a few minutes of Mando.
The ending to Rogue One, maybe.
You know what I mean? I don't even think so. But yeah. No? But let's just give it to them. They haven't liked, and then all the haters will also go, but I love Ahsoka Tano. Ahsoka Tano is my favorite character, and as my friend Star Wars Santa points out, that's the Star Wars exploiters equivalent of. But I have a black friend. I'm not racist.
It's also a disingenuous lie, because if Clone Wars came out today, they'd be saying how Ahsoka Tano replaced the friendship of Anakin and Obi-Wan through the Clone Wars, and she was never supposed to be there. I know, but you understand what I mean? Like, but now they say they love that, so there's just no consistency in this fucking argument.
Yeah, it's always about calling back to the past and making the past better than the present. It's kind of what the conservatives do, honestly, overall. But that said,
got me there.
That said,
show's over.
My honest gut opinion is that general audiences are going to enjoy it, and it will be like well received by the common person, but it will also just come and go, because I don't know if the common person, the common like consumer of Star Wars content, that's not like an online rabid fan. I don't know how often they watch this stuff. I don't know how invested they are, like in the prequels and stuff like that. But I can see another scenario where there's just like a generation of Gen X prequel hating people who feel like this redeems the concept and it gives them what they always wanted from it. I can see that happening. I don't know if it will. When it comes to the, like I said, remember, like the quote, the same people that are hating this, the same people who were calling the Mandalorian the woe Mandalorian before it came out, and we're pushing that kind of agenda. What were they calling Soylo and all that shit? Like
Seriously?
But Mandalorian was so well received, they were defeated. They knew that they would literally be clawing against the mainstream to continue that narrative, so they had to back down. And in my opinion, Star Wars Kenobi has too much emotional weight, too much levity in the narrative itself to be as successful as the adorableness of Baby Yoda. So I don't think it will necessarily do better than The Mandalorian, but I also can see it having higher numbers than Mandalorian because of the snowballing effect. Disney Plus being a lot bigger. Book of Boba had bigger numbers than Mandalorian, and I believe wholeheartedly that Obi-Wan Kenobi is the best series Disney Plus will have done. That's my honest opinion. But I also am a big fan of indie music, and I do not believe that greatness and quality equates to success most of the time. If it was, we would have a
Well,
much different world.
because it's a streaming series, it's not like if it were in the movie theaters where every week you'd be hearing about how much money did it make this week and how much money did it make. And so I almost feel like, I know like these studios are really hesitant to share data, but like they better start treating viewership and engagement like box office dollars and weekly reporting when something comes out. Like I'm dead serious. They need to start throwing out like attention dollars out, like every week in the same way that they throw a box office revenue for these series, because that'll get people talking. People, unfortunately, I could care less how much shit makes at the theater. Honestly, don't care. But people do. They consider it a win. They like to have these little like sports like wins, and streaming shows don't have that right now. They just have like whether people are talking about it, sort of like a general vibe in the air, which is ridiculous given that your socials only show you more of what you already like. So if you aren't liking it, you're not seeing that shit anyway. So
right. Yeah, I think all of the main studios, if they haven't already, should get together and they should create some sort of advisory board and standard for how numbers are to be reported. Like Netflix is getting a lot of fire right now for lying to creatives and potentially investors about numbers. We don't really know what any of this stuff truly means when it comes to any of it. And I don't know if it matters. I think it matters to investors though. So I do think that there is actually a financial reason to do it. And that would tell us like what the engagement is on this stuff. Because I mean, when you get down to it, like the golden age of television and film, I think they've completely merged now. And I almost don't see them as being that different. Like I'm excited to go see Top Gun 2, whatever the fuck it's called, the Rise of Maverick and Goose, or whatever the fuck they're gonna call it. I call it Top Gun 2. Top Gun 2. I'm excited to go see it. I would never want to see that on TV. I want to see it in a movie theater. Like that's the kind of movie that's like designed to be seen in a theater. So I'm excited for that. But at the same time, if it wasn't that, if it was more of a less thrill seeking, I wouldn't give a fuck if it was a Disney Plus series versus any, a film. Last night,
so on Top Gun 2, we were talking. You wanted to know how they were shooting that. So they
who's
sit in the
actors, who pilots
in the back?
How did the pilot?
Real F-18 pilot. They're not letting actors pilot F-18s.
Right, but he looks like he's in the front seat. How did they do that?
It's just where they set the camera up, and then when they cut to the front seat, it's the pilot. You know what I mean? Or and I haven't confirmed this, they might have second F-18s where the back, but it's all piloted in the front, so it's just that pilot you're seeing. Shot. Now they put what's crazy is they put 3 IMAX cameras in that cockpit, so the actors are actually controlling the coverage on the cameras. So I don't know how they're gonna cover. I guess cinematography's out the fucking window on this one. Like, given how many, that's 7 different people like shooting footage. So I don't know how that works out, but
I'm gonna guess that would you just shoot a fuck ton of footage of them doing maneuvers enough, and then
when they're experiencing the G-forces, all of that's real. It's not like a green screen where they're pretending, So and I gotta tell you, man, when you have 1,600 pounds of pressure on you, dude, I got buddies who did that shit. They're like, no, you just want to vomit. Like, couldn't imagine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now I
can handle it
to train them all how to fly an F-16 like in a week. You know what I mean? Like that, I think that's definitely possible.
I mean, if that kid from Iron Eagle could do it, what's the fucking issue?
Dougie Masters.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's good. I'm explaining it to the audience. They don't know what you're talking about, so I'm I'm trying to
They
connect
got
with
to
the
keep up
kids,
with me.
connecting with them,
Yeah.
you know.
Connect with what's an iron? I think
The
that was
Iron
on
Eagle.
Cobra Kai season 1, right? Yeah, it was. They
Yeah,
referenced it in season
yeah. Fucking watch it, losers. And and ask yourself the question I've been asking: are they ever going to bring back do a new Iron Eagle? It's time. It's time to just cash in on it. Um, Netflix are also doing that RASS Baymax before the end of the year. Oh yeah, and this Aria was saying I heard a rumor that Disney is creating a subscription that costs less but gets you ads. Yeah, that's been I heard about this a long time ago, and then we started to see evidence of it. And I know that like in the UK, it's a little bit different how Netflix is handled, and I mean Disney Plus is handled, and that's definitely on the docket. And I think it's a good idea. You know, I'm okay with it. I especially
as long
because
as I can
they're
pay to opt out.
yeah.
That's all I want.
Oh sure.
I can't deal with ads, man.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not. Some of us. I'm an ads man. He's not an ads man. Ads man.
It's the same ad, bro. It's like one fucking ad. You gotta. It's a
Yeah.
form of CIA torture when those ads. I tried that with Hulu once. Like back when Green Arrow was out. I was like, "I'll watch this. I'm not paying for it. I'll watch ads." It was the same fucking ad. I was like, after one episode, I can't do it. Just can't do it. I had to pay. Whatever.
Soundwave, thanks for being a channel member for the support. Appreciate it. What an odd title, laugh out loud. Yeah. When it comes like that, like I said, if it's called Star Wars Jedi Survivor, it makes us think of that TV show. Makes me think of the band, but makes people think of the TV show, I think. But it's at the same time, it's very simple. And I think like massive exposure with a simple topic or a simple kind of title. Star Wars may own it. It may be one of those things that's weird to us now, and then in 6 months we can't believe it was ever weird to
be
us.
fair, the fans amongst the internet at the time were unhappy that Dark Forces 2 was just called Jedi Knight. Like it should be Jedi. It should be Dark Forces 2. Dark Forces Jedi. Dark Jedi. I mean, they thought Jedi Knight was boring.
Yeah.
So I remember this. My buddy was one of them. It's just boring. I'm like, fuck cares? Like,
yeah.
I just want to use a fucking lightsaber. Like, shut up. But yeah. So.
Yeah. I mean, I'm personally of the opinion that Jedi Fallen Order isn't actually a great title either. I mean, but
it's better than Rise of the Resistance.
Oh, it's serviceable. It doesn't offend me. To be honest with you, I liked the title of The Last Jedi, but The Force Awakens and Rise of Skywalker, I don't like those at all. Those just don't feel like Star Wars titles to me. And I don't like that they don't fit into, they do not have a sense of pulp whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? And that's Last Jedi is really fantasy sounding, but so fantasy sounding that I'm like cool with it. But yeah, but once again, it's all to a taste. Everybody has a different opinion on that stuff. So whatever. Hey Eric, how's it going, man? Oh, by the way, I haven't got to it yet, but we will. But Eric, you are a little bit behind the Married with Children super fan because he already told me today.
As it broke.
He has
the internet
Google
knows what I like. Somehow the internet knows when there's Married with Children news, it's going right my fucking feed. By the way, I did talk about how I've been waiting to get that Avatar 3D. They should release the Avatar trailer in Oculus Quest. I now own a highly uncompressed, no compression Avatar 3D trailer, and I've watched it probably 50 fucking times
on your Quest.
I put it on my Quest, so I stream it to that, and I have a 3D TV downstairs. So
okay, yeah,
I have both.
Can I ask without being specific to endanger any sources or anything like that? What's the file size on it roughly? Just roughly,
like
between
500 and a gig, something like 500, whatever. I think it's 500, 600 megabytes because it's a 1080p. Like it.
Yeah, it's like two 1080p images. Is that what it ends up being?
It's two 1080p, but it's only a fucking minute long. But I'll let you know when I rip my 3D Blu-rays, those are 40 gigabyte fucking movies, dude.
Yeah,
you're not putting them on your Quest. You have to stream it to your Quest because they're so fucking.
Well, like giant. On the with SideQuest, you can load videos into the actual storage of the Quest itself. So that's what I was kind of curious about if that
Yeah, if
would
I went
still
on
work.
and I did that when I went on an airplane once
Yeah.
before all this shit went down with
So
COVID.
you were sitting
Because
there with the headset on, and you're like, "Whoa, man!"
I get PTSD anxiety,
Yeah,
claustrophobic anxiety, and so I didn't know I had this until I had a panic attack on an air on the because the seats are so small now. It's
yeah.
very much about like being in a tank turret for me.
Your fucking
So I was
balls are up to
getting
your chin like you're Dolly Parton these days. I don't like
yeah,
it.
and I
I'm
was
not short, so it sucks.
and I and I was in a tank for a while in the army, and I didn't realize I had this PTS claustrophobia thing, but I really fucking got it. Like it's
Yeah,
serious. I thought I was having a heart attack. I didn't know what a panic attack. My wife's
really.
like, "Oh, I get these all the time." I'm like, we get these all the time. What? You need help? Like, don't have
Yeah,
these all the time. This is horrible.
yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ, man. Like, whew.
We
Anyhow,
we treat our
it's
women pretty well in our society, and yeah, they have it all the time. It's normal. It's weird. It's weird if you meet one who doesn't.
I felt so
Maybe.
bad for her, the experience.
Hmm.
Anyhow, yeah. Yeah, Soundwave, hit me up, I'll send you a link. So
Yeah, I'll take it too. I want to
it's
try
still
to
a
load it
teaser
on.
trailer. I want more. You know what I mean? But
Sure.
the depth is like when you get into underwater, like the way the jungle, the depth, there's just nothing like it, man. No one's shooting films like this. It's totally unique.
Yeah.
It puts you like when that dragon, the underwater dragon, you really see the depth. Like when that thing comes out the water at the end, that's coming out at you. It's not
Whoa, your camera just
like
changed.
it's fucking
You
dope,
were like,
dude.
it
Like
was
I
like,
don't know, man. Like I
yeah.
really think Lucas would be making if Lucas were still making Star Wars, he would have shot them in native 3D. He wouldn't have done conversions. It's just what he would have done. So I just don't understand, you know.
Good morning, Azatrue. Good morning. Good evening to everyone. And the Star Wars beating record Avatar 2 trailer. Sorry I missed the last show. Yeah, no. Hey, you Avatar guys, you're all happy, and I'm happy for you guys. Um, Miss Marvel and Shirk are the only
Avatar.
two Marvel shows still. Okay, yeah. Marvel Mania, of course,
Yeah.
knows.
Yeah,
Marvel
there's not
Mania backing up what you said. So yeah.
Marvel.
But I mean, when you look at it, we got about 6 months left, and so we got Kenobi, the two Marvel or three, is that three Marvel shows, and 6 months left, and Kenobi. So yeah, there's not really enough time to not have any
I do
things would be
think
overlapping. Mm-hmm.
I do think they're releasing that Ms. Marvel show a little too close to Kenobi. If I had to be a bit of a critic, they could let it die down for a couple months.
Yeah. I
But
mean, Kenobi's
I
gonna
don't know.
gonna like come and go because it's only 6 episodes, and I have a feeling they may be cool with that because it's not an ongoing series. It's supposed to be just a one and done kind of thing. So they're just like, let's just get it out and get people watching it whenever they want as incentive to like subscribe to a Disney Plus. As opposed, and it's not like it's 18 episodes or 12 episodes. It's 12. I mean, it's 6 episodes. So it's like there's not really, I think, like a big draw for them to like continue it, like draw it out in any way. And which is nice and bad for us because it would be nice if it was a little more drawn out, but also nice that we kind of get it sooner.
Well,
Oh, and
speaking of drawn out, I'm on episode. Was it? They just released episode 6 of Better Call Saul, and they're like, or 5, and they're like, oh, we got 2 more left to the mid-season break, and I'm like, I fucking hate that shit, man. So
yeah,
it breaks in fucking May, and we don't get shit again until July, And I'm just like, it's 2 months. Just wait 2 months and just play it all the way through to the end. I don't understand this old mentality of like 2 months and then come back. Like, why? I
yeah.
don't. I don't get it.
Maybe it has to do with production and the writers' room
Oh,
and stuff
certainly.
like that.
So wait 2 months, and then once you have it all together,
Yeah,
start it and finish. I just whatever. It's
yeah.
great though, but just annoying.
I have to say, if they do continue Married with Children and as an animated show, I hope it's not like Married with Children and now Al flies a biplane in one episode because it wasn't that funny. We could do anything in animation. I hope it's still
Right.
grounded within the world of the old
The
show.
first 4 seasons. The
Yeah,
first 4 seasons, yeah. My hope that design wise too. Did you ever see the electric tiki statues?
nuh
Okay, hold on. I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Just cut me out. Cut me out. Right.
Okay.
Just
No worries. So Batuzal the Manslayer says, or Batusai the Manslayer. I apologize for butchering your name. Hey there, rumors about episodes 10, 11, 12. Ben Solo back, the Wills and Lucas back. Okay, so I'm going to do this in reverse. In reverse, Lucas is never coming back. Lucas never did anything for hire. He never was interested. He literally fought his whole career to not make Star Wars at the behest of someone else. Okay.
they did
Oh
these
wow. Well,
animated
wait.
statues. So
That's pretty rad.
right. So they did a bunch of them where they got a Peg, they got a Kelly. I was dirt poor when these came out in 2004, so I could only
Yeah.
get one. Now they're like 500, $600. You know,
Oh
it's
wow.
ridiculous.
Be careful.
Um,
Be careful with it.
but this is the one. Anytime I go to our department, this sucker. And that was the only thing I'd put on my desk. Douche. You know. People
Douche?
were like, is that Al Bundy?
You say
Yeah,
douche?
Douche. Yeah,
Douche.
so I do and I do that. Look, douche. And then the women go. They look at me. It's a sound effect. What? So,
Yeah.
But I do think like they
Do
work
this,
perfectly
douche.
in an animated art style. You know, they really do.
Yeah, it is.
The way I'd recommend them versus like a Rick and Morty looking thing or something. You know? But the writing on Rick and Morty shows you can do a lot of crazy shit in animation these days, right? So
yeah. So anyways, Ben Solo back. I wish he was, but in terms of any credible rumors, there are none. My personal belief is you bet your ass they're gonna do it. Just I would not be surprised if it was after this current phase of what we could almost call expanded universe sort of stories that they're doing, things that are just, out, not connected. I think that there will always be a desire to go back to the whale. You know what I mean? To go back to that line of films. And I honestly don't feel that episode 9 delivered. I think if episode 9 was so good, it intimidated people out of jumping on to continuing the story, that would be one thing. But I don't think that's the world that we live in at the moment. And so I think that will happen. And I think
if
everything
anything,
that
they
you're
just don't
talking
want
about,
the harassment from fans. Like,
yeah,
you know, that might be because Chris McQuarrie talked about it. Although I don't exactly believe him when he says that, but I think that he just feels that, you know. But I don't think that would ever stop him from working on a Star Wars. Like,
yeah,
I don't. I think his ability to work with Tom Cruise and them to do whatever they want is why he doesn't leave that situation.
sure,
Because he's got it good, right? I mean,
yeah. I mean,
dude's fucking making awesome shit. Like, why would you not keep that going?
yeah. I mean, Tom Cruise is as far as we know still a big money maker. Generates a lot of money. Although he looks just like fucking Mark Harmon now. Very strange. Like, have you noticed
Plastic
that?
surgery.
Yeah. It's like he's turned into Summer School. It's really weird.
I used to think that was Mark Summers from Double Dare when I was a kid. Because
that's
they
weird,
look a little
but
alike.
kids are weird. I get it.
I realized as a kid I may have been a little on the spectrum because I never would actually look at people and kind of like side eye them and then go, and that blurriness, that looks like them. You know, get back to down to drawing.
Well,
it's possible.
My big one was I thought the dude who sang the Ghostbusters song was Billy D. Williams for years. And I was like, he is so talented. He is so
that mustache just put you in a group of folks though.
Yeah, it was that mustache with the hair, and and somebody I had people on Twitter calling me a racist over it. I was like, come on, man, I was 5, and they just look like the same guy. I mean, they looks like his double, looks like his son. Darth Gregory says, I took your advice and watched Star Wars Larry trailer 2. Laugh out loud. F in the chat for Grand Inquisitor's head shape and security. Yeah,
so good.
You know what's funny is I don't oftentimes get like a piece of comedy stuck in my head, like music, but there is kind of a musicality to their comedy at times. And when they do the book of Boba Fett, second best day of my life line, and it shows them like it's like almost like a 50s feeling flashback, and he says, "Beat the heat." We wanted to beat the heat. I get beat the heat. I get that stuck in my head, like that moment from that one, because it's so well done. It's so fucking funny.
Well, I told you when they did the banana time and they were doing that song ready go or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, ready to go. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, this is gonna be the anthem I play anytime I go see a movie. I went to see Batman. That's sure enough, man. Like anytime I go to a
It's
movie
good,
now,
man.
when I went and saw Doctor Strange 2, they put that in there, and I'm like, that's the fucking one. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
But for whatever reason, my favorite line ever is to beat the heat. Aria
to
says,
beat
any
the heat.
news today that the world doesn't know? Kenobi is just 14 days away. We are 2 weeks away. And I was hoping to have my video out today. I'm gonna get that video out though. I mean, I'm past the big part of it. So and that video, when it comes out, everybody make sure you like it and share it and all that stuff, because share it with the spoiler people, and yeah. And then at the end of it, by the way, so this video that I made, I say it in the beginning, but I just want to kind of reiterate like where I'm coming at this from, is that like over the summer and whatever it was last year when they were filming, like I would get like the big chunks of the movie or of the show, like what happens, but how they connect, I still don't quite know all of like those subtleties. It's like, do you want me to figure out Qui-Gon's there and what he kind of does and how that works, or do you want me to know how we get from Dayu to the next? You know what I mean? It's like it's not stuff anybody truly cares about other than like flexing, at that point. So so a lot of that stuff I'm having to like kind of figure out, or like so I took everything and put it in the best order that I could. So it's like all of the big the scenes that happen in this video I'm doing, they happen. How they fit in exactly, that's where I confess, like, fuck if I know, to some extent anyways. And the one person who I know, two people I know who've seen stuff, who've like seen it, like versions of it so far, um, they haven't seen the final one, so I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know if they know when I was gathering the stuff how it fit in what order necessarily. So, but I'm working on that today. So after the show, I'm gonna go back to it. And hey, Will, Rob doesn't want to hang out with me. Jason, Disney shill confirmed. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Hold on. Oh, hey, we got a super chat. Thank you,
All
Lesnar.
right.
Is there any solid info on who plays Thrawn and Ezra? Got to be honest with you about, it's been a few months now, so I may not be completely dead on here. And I didn't, if I didn't make it a story on the site, it's because it's just like something that's going on, and I'm not ready to go report on it. But when the stuff was going around with people being very firm about who was playing Thrawn and Ezra, I knew it wasn't firm. I knew that in fact, it could be those people, but it definitely wasn't those people when I was hearing this stuff, right? And so what we kind of ended up with were a bunch of people taking, what's his name? Musad? Excuse me, I can't remember his name. Musad Men something.
I didn't
I
watch Aladdin. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, the Aladdin guy.
Okay.
And fucking that one dude's brother. Sorry, I'm fucking dropping the ball with their names right now. But anyways, I was told no, there hasn't been any choices. They haven't even confirmed that stuff. And I'm sort of like, this is me just kind of getting like being like, what if? And I'm saying, what if they don't show up in this show until the very end? What if? And I think that is something that people should potentially prepare for. Because until I start hearing, yeah, Ezra's filming today, yeah, Thrawn's filming today, a lot. What if they don't show up until the end? What if it's the culmination of the show is finding Ezra and Thrawn, or just one of them even? I mean, that very well could be what happens, and I just don't want anybody to be disappointed who starts to, like there were, I still get messages, people saying, I don't know all about Star Wars because I don't know who's playing Callus, about Obi-Wan, because I don't know who's playing Callus. And I'm like, Callus isn't in Obi-Wan. Why are you asking me that? Like, nobody said that. You know what I mean? But they keep pushing this fucking thing that like Callus is in it. I'm like, Callus isn't even in it. And I don't think Callus is in that show. I mean, he might be, but I don't know if he is. I don't think he is, though. At this point, I don't have any reason to believe he is. And so, yeah, so it's like people kind of are expecting this Ahsoka series to be season 5 or whatever it should be, 6 or whatever it is of Rebels. And I don't think that's necessarily where this is going. I could be wrong, you know. But once again, thank you for the super chat, and I do appreciate the support. I like a lot. Hey, Chris, how's it going, dude? Hello there. Have I told you I'm excited for Kenobi? Very nice. I like you. Hey, Chris. Yeah, dude. We are super excited, and I hope you hang out with us on all of those shows. I think you will be. I think the Kenobi series, the first episode seems very kind of tame. So I'm glad that we're getting to. When I say tame, I mean like it's like a lot of like living in the moment for Kenobi. Second episode, action packed. So I think we're gonna have a really good, a really good opening. Disinferno says that Kenobi will be bad, but gotta say, you sound wrong to me right now.
Because good is dumb. All right, deep thoughts.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Bella Ramsey from Game of Thrones would be a great Leia. Yeah, I mean they already have their like 10-year-old Leia. So
she's not that young anymore, Bella Ramsey, my friend. It's been a few years.
Been a few years.
Those kids age quick. You know? She would have been good if they had shot it at that time. Like she don't look like that no more.
Yeah, I watched Northman last night. The movie was pretty badass. Have you seen it?
Roger Eggers. No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good for the most part. I liked it. I wouldn't say it's perfect. It's probably a more pop movie than Green Knight, but I'm gonna say in terms of that kind of shit, best movie like that I've seen since the Green Knight. I was pretty into it. I had a good time with it. It was good. It's definitely worth watching.
Yeah, when it's available for streaming, I'll watch. I'm not going to the theater for that. It's not worth the COVID risk for Rob.
Yeah, sure. To answer Rob, what do I need from their fight? Action. Laugh out loud. As long as it's a good, solid fight, I'm good, says Real Ben Maynard. Yeah, exactly. I mean, my hope isn't just that they like clone the fight, no pun intended, but the fight, from a previous film and just do like a here's more of that. I hope it's like a new addition, whatever it happens to be.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're going for. I do think that's kind of where this is going to end up. But so, as the truth says, personally, I don't think so many people should be worried about Jedi Survivor being next gen only. It's almost a year away. 20 million PS5s are out there, and Xboxes are in stock every day or so. Okay, so guys, so it's getting better.
The thing about next gen only complainers, I'm like, we're 3 years in now, going into the next gen. Like, it has to happen at some point. Back in the day, when you guys love your Nintendo 64s, once they had a new system, they were like, fuck your old shit, you ain't getting no more of it, and it's only this now, and it may take us 2 years to make one game. Sorry. Like
Wario's Woods, what? I usually didn't play games that only came out on the last system.
So it needs to happen sooner than later. So we've had your fun.
Well, I mean, yeah, if it's like an issue, I mean, clearly it's probably an issue of if they don't, they probably would have to hold back on the potential of the game and what they can do in the environments to make a game work on both platforms. And they're just like, fuck it, we're just gonna get rid of it and make it work next gen because that's where the life of the game is going to be. Ultimately, it sucks for me because I don't have a next gen system yet. But ultimately, for them, it makes the most sense. It's not all about me, is it? Chris says Marvel has Mrs. Marvel, She-Hulk, Werewolf by Night, I Am Groot, and Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special all coming out this year. What the fuck is Werewolf by Night? It sounds like some Skinwalker Ranch shit.
No, that's actually where like Moon Knight first appeared and shit.
Is that a live action or is that a cartoon?
Yeah, it's live action. No, it's live action. Yeah. That's all that. There was a run of really kick-ass fucking shit in the 70s that was like, not really mainline Marvel continuity, and Werewolf by Night was one of them. Like,
Okay.
so there was like a lot of really cool shit being done around there, artistically and creatively, because it was just monster shit. You know, Marv
Yeah.
Wolfman came out of that. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, all that shit. So yeah, yeah.
Man, I'm such a Batman guy right now when we're talking about that. I'm like, so many 70s based in early 80s story or 80 stories from Batman. I would just love to see in a Batman TV show. That could just be done so well.
That's my only real complaint about the Matt Reeves shit is just like, how long is this going to take to get more Batman? You know, like
Yeah.
there's going to be 15 Marvel things a year from now and every year until the next Batman comes along. It's like they should come on, guys. You know, like
Yeah.
there should be a series going on right now. You know, on HBO, like 6-8 episodes a season until
Yeah.
that next movie comes out. Like it's ridiculous.
Um, remember when Batman had the sword fight with Al Ghul's fucking he was
Ra's al
shirtless.
Ghul.
Yeah, Ra's al
Yeah,
Ghul, and he was like fucking shirtless, fucking fighting with swords. And
yeah.
Talia was there, like, I'm so wet for you. That was my Batman right there. That was some good Batman. I was like,
This is
fucking
your most Chris
Batman.
Farley like moment on the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, remember that time you were Batman? Uh,
We had a
yeah.
sword fight. Yeah, it's good stuff though.
So Ben Bamboo says the only things with the white male leads, anything else is woke, SJW, Antifa, except to those fuck nuts. Yeah, like like I always have this like strong, this idiotic impulse that thinks like somebody just doesn't understand. And I remember, you know what? They're they're looking for this stuff. They want this stuff to happen. In fact, even though it's not happening, how they say, they want it to happen that way because then it puts them on the moral high ground in their eyes and gives them the justification to act like idiots on the internet. That's just the world that we live in. It's stupid. Is Stranger Things going to hurt Kenobi's watch numbers? Asked Shogun. I'm going to watch both. That
Yeah, I
weekend,
think they're the
I'm
same audience. Yeah, I'm watching both.
yeah. I mean, it definitely I think is actually like a positive thing. And I will say too, for me, I probably wouldn't stay up like at midnight to wait for it for that to drop. I would probably like wait and watch it with my kids, like like start dinner and just kind of go from or whatever lunch, whatever time it is. And so my plan is to make Rob stay up late, watch Kenobi with me, and then go to bed. And I'll probably wake up and then go along about my day and start watching Stranger Things. And then that night I'm gonna go see Top Gun too. Like
I
that's
have
my
already
plan.
muted all the Stranger Things names, words, characters, and actors from Twitter completely because
Yeah.
I do know they'll spoil the whole fucking show. Like I don't care about spoilers in entirety, but they'll just ruin the fucking show the day out. Like it'll be a
Well,
nonstop flood, of fucking information. So
I got two spoilers from the show already. One is that it's Stranger, and now there's Things.
yeah, but I like all the Stranger Things.
Stranger
So I like
Things.
all the seasons. I like it all. So if you think like Rob's super picky dude, and I'm not. I think it's all fantastic.
Yeah.
I like it.
Marvel says it's funny when people act like Ahsoka was a universally beloved character. I was like 11 years old when the Clone Wars movie was released in theaters. People hated Ahsoka and thought she was lame. Yeah, people just harped on Ahsoka the whole time, and it was even before we were getting shit like R2E, Sky Guy, and things that are truly a bit cringy. It was just by the very notion that Anakin had a Padawan that they never knew of from the prequels, um, just drove him up the wall from the very start. So me and my brother, oh, that's the same. Me and my brother grew up with the Clone Wars as our Star Wars. And while I loved Ahsoka even back then, I remember getting made fun of for enjoying the annoying Jedi girl who they forced Anakin with. Yeah.
Dude, that's exactly what happened to me when kids at school in 1986 found out I was watching
Shira.
She-Ra.
You're a Shira guy.
And
I like
all those
Shira
guys
too.
now are like, they changed my She-Ra. I'm like, you didn't watch that fucking show. You're my age. You're a liar. You were a Thundercats guy at the fucking time and G.I. Joe. That's it. That's all they were watching. Even
Yeah.
Transformers had a bit of a dip at that point, for these
Yeah.
fucking dudes. So
Yeah. But if you were a kid, you knew if you played with the girls and with toys, they were going to make the dolls do it. And then that was going to get you
Also,
kissed. Mm-hmm.
also, girlfriends, not a girlfriend, but girlfriends
Mm-hmm.
always had little mini powdered donuts and good snacks when you came over to play. So I made friends with the girls because they had the best snacks. They just did. I love
Rob's
those
having a
little mini
snack attack.
powdered donuts. I gotta tell you, I fucking love them. Like,
Yeah.
oh, there was a time at 7-Eleven where you get a whole bag of them for $10, and let me tell you where I learned to hustle art from. So you
Mm-hmm.
get that powder bag of donuts on a weekend, play some Breath of Fire.
Yeah. Marvel Mania says Top Gun Maverick is getting amazing reviews. You mean Top Gun 2. I can't wait for that film. I'm also looking forward to Bullet Train. Yeah. I'm
Yeah, me
looking forward.
too. They were complaining about Bullet Train not on Campia show a while back about how they should really film this in Japan. I don't think people know. If you want to know how difficult it is to actually shoot footage in Japan, go watch the making of THX 1138.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing's changed. You can't shoot in Japan. You can't shoot a whole sequence on a bullet train in Japan. You just can't. It's
Yeah.
incredibly difficult. So they had to do it all fake digitally or whatever. Super hard.
Well, I want Maverick to fly jets, so I'm not going to see the movie either. Darth Gergu says the best engagement for casual fans is the memes that came from the content. The more memes that a series or a movie provides, the longer it stays in the minds of the general public. Memes are the way. Yeah, I've heard like I'm not even joking. I've heard so many times about how John Favreau is very fucking cognizant of being memeable. It's one of the things that he actually incorporates into the way that he does things. And I will say, when you go and you watch those Disney Gallery things, they literally just make those fucking things meme machines. They might as well just release them on the fucking internet and saying, take the footage and make them memes, please. Like that's like all that those things do. And that's why they do them.
Definitely. Yeah.
Will Morgan says things have gone from being short to being episodic, back to brief, and now episodic again. It's the cycle of life, Will. Cycle of life. Darth Gergu says, you guys should look up Quentin Tarantino about Top Gun on YouTube. It's gold.
Seen the movie.
See, I gotta say, yeah. What was that called? What was that movie called?
I don't know, but it was his buddy who told the story, and he janked it for the fucking.
Yeah, the problem with it is it all culminates in them saying, "You could ride my tail anytime." That's not what he says. He says you could be my wingman anytime. So it's like it's sort of, but at the same time, Scott was a gay man, and it is very 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 gay. The movie, the first film, definitely it's probably more gay than Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2.
Movie. Like
Lutheran says, I just read Maul's Shadowhunter, and a female Jedi named Darsha Asant has an arc in the book, and Maul ends up killing her. But it never became the Darsha Asant book. Right. Exactly. I mean, it's just
these people
weird.
Don't read. Lozer.
They they do watch TV. Yeah, they apparently don't. Or no, but they yeah, it's really weird. Like, what is this? What was that movie? My Dinner with Andre. Dinner with Andre. What's that? Yeah, it's
Dinner with Andre.
Yeah, Dinner with Andre. Like, what do they think this is? Dinner with Kenobi? It's like Darth Vader and Obi-Wan are having a dinner, and there's no one else in it. I mean, is like, what fucking rock did you crawl out under where that's a TV show and movie thing? Like I could only think of that movie that has only 2 characters in it.
I'll tell you what it is. I was thinking about this the other day. Dawned on me. These are fucking dudes who only watch Bat in the Sun versus videos. Right? Wolverine versus Darth Vader. Right? That's what they're just used to. That hokey shit where like Batman's fighting Darth Vader and then a Predator shows up. Okay. They've watched it so much they think that all movies and TV shows should be that.
Yeah.
I'm not throwing Bat in the Sun in the corner, but I'm just letting you know that's what we're talking about here.
Or I'm gonna throw it out there. Maybe they're just dumb.
Well, it can be both.
Darren says, I'm personally a big fan of the leaks so far, and I'm an OG Star Wars fan from the originals in the cinema. As a massive prequel fan, just trying to and a massive prequel fan, just trying to avoid the negativity before seeing the show. Yeah, that's the thing. I will say, like, here's what is the ultimate irony about this kind of thing is when the show is good or the show is connecting or the show is in the consciousness, that's the only time people can actually successfully grift off of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would argue that Solo: A Star Wars Stories grift really wasn't really that big of a deal. I'm sure they made money off of it, but it wasn't a big deal. It didn't really. Everybody was like, "Yeah, go ahead," and then movie count, nobody cared. It was just like a bunch of nothing. And so the good news is that I do think to some extent the fact that they're able to like drum this up and try to get this going, it does say that people care. Does that kind of make sense that there is actually some engagement and interest in it? Otherwise, it just would be a non. Of course, it sucks. No one is
Yeah, I get
saying
it.
that. I mean, maybe. Hey, it's the Best Bin Bulletin. How's it going? I'm supposed to be working on a video, but I did a show. You know. So Marvel says this is probably a dumb question that you've answered in an article and I forgot to read. But do we know who Kamel Nanjiani is in Kenobi? I know O'Shea is playing a rebel sympathizer and pilot, right? Yeah, so I could answer the second one. I conclusively know that the name is Roken of O'Shea, and Kumail, like, I kind of got like, see, he's one of those characters who comes in and seems seedy, and then it turns out there's more to him. And I got one source who like said, I think he's a sabersmith of some kind, and he was, passing out kyber crystals and stuff to people. So he may be a force sensitive or even an ex Jedi himself, but I don't actually fucking concretely know. It's one of the few mysteries I have. That guy and a lot of how what's her name? I can't remember the character's name now. Indira Varma's character. Like, I know she's also a secret rebel of some kind. How those things sort of play out is a bit unknown to me. Or what I do know isn't know well enough for me to publicly talk about and compromise the data. And but we are getting so close here pretty soon that I'm just almost like, you know what? What I know is what I knows. Keeman says, from your knowledge of the show, who do you think will be the standout character from Kenobi, if not Obi-Wan himself? Well, the hope would be for the show that 10-year-old Leia is the breakout. Everybody loves her, wants more, right? So that is, I think, by design, the hope. But I'm not sure. Like, I've heard that O'Shea Jackson Jr. as Roken is really good, but I also heard he does a lot with the character who's not really like that exciting. Like what I've told you, like what he is what he is. But I also think he's the kind of the character who, when you get down to it, sort of our intergalactic bus driver for the good guys. And so he has a lot of value to the future of Star Wars, and that he could show up in anything. He could be a recurring character who intersects with all of these people in a big way, and that we're like, where's Roken? Like, that might be something that might go that way. And I heard Kumail Nanjiani's like performance is fucking just really good. I heard that people were like, wow, you know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of people thought he was just sort of like a, dopey, I mean this with respect, but comedian. Just didn't think that there would be much depth to him. But as we keep seeing, comedians fucking are the saddest people ever. Like, they bring a lot of depth to acting when
90s
given.
grunge musicians are the saddest
Yeah.
people ever, and then comedians.
Yeah, and then comedians. Yeah. So I mean, so it's like, they I could definitely, I mean, Nanjiani is fucking hilarious in the stuff that he's done, but I also think that he's going to bring a strong performance. Darren says Star Wars Jedi Survivor, a Yaddle story, right? It's all about Yaddle all the time. I Had the Tiger by Survivor. That's what comes to mind when I hear it. Soundwave says the title also tells you the era is set like the first game. Yeah, it does. The question I have is Jedi Survivor going to leave off where Kenobi does? because because like it's sort of weird. Or is Jedi Survivor like? I'm curious as to how they talk to each other, because like I've spoken about, we have this Jedi enclave or Force sensitive enclave on Jabim, and we have, and at the end of the game they destroy the holocron with all the Jedi names on it, all the candidate names. So it's like, I'm curious to see how these things intersect. I have to think that they do. I think that they should talk to each other, and but we'll see, won't we? That kind of guy. Did Hayden do more sword fights than he did in episode 3? To the best of my knowledge, Hayden didn't really do the sword fights. I have an article about the 3 people playing Darth Vader in on MakingStarWars.net. If you read that, you can see who did the sword, who did the suit stuff, and then who did when we see Hayden's face. So, in my opinion, when we see the helmet broken, the Darth Vader helmet cracked, and we see Hayden's face, and during the fight, that's probably Hayden's sword fights. That's my guess. And if he did anything more than that, it was for PR purposes, probably, just to say he did. That's just what I heard. I hope I'm not bumming anybody out, but that's how it seems to have gone. Marvel says, as someone who's never been to Disney World or been to Disneyland since they added Galaxy's Edge, is it worth going to? Yeah, it is. It also seems like the theme park's magic has been sucked out by the corporate a bit. You know what? I will say, the more you pay attention to the business side of things, the more that does happen. Like when you know what was supposed to happen at Galaxy's Edge versus what's happening at Galaxy's Edge, it definitely, like, it takes away the magic a little bit. That said, if you were just going to a Disneyland, number one, the Rise of the Resistance is the best ride Disneyland has ever created by far. It's fucking amazing. And anybody who would get off that ride and go, meh, I think is just, wow, that's a tough customer. Because I really don't think it much compares. It doesn't mean it should be your favorite ride, but as an experience, I think it's amazing. The Falcon ride, you could ride it all day and never really necessarily have like the same experience and the same role. And it's super fun. The environment is just fucking amazing there. I love it. I really truly do. Is there always room for improvement? Fuck yeah, by far. The rides, I don't have a lot of critiques about the rides, but what happens in Galaxy's Edge, I completely can. There's a lot of stuff that could be done there. But I mean, you go there and like you get to eat at a Star Wars restaurant. The cantina sucks. I'll be honest with you. The cantina, it's dog shit. I would go down to, if you're in the area, I would just, if you like drinking, I would go down to the Scum and Villainy Cantina in Los Angeles. You'll have a way better time. The drinks are better. And I never have fun at the cantina in Galaxy's Edge because they just are continually kicking you out. It's like, it's the equivalent of you walk up to a urinal and somebody goes, pee, hurry up and pee, come on, pee. And you're like, I can't pee. I can't have fun when you keep telling me, get the fuck out, And so anyways, if you can do the cantina, I would do it, but I also wouldn't die if you can't. If you could look in there and see the Rex DJ, you're fucking seeing it, to be honest with you. It's not that good. But I love it. I don't have a pass right now because they kind of fucked that up. The paycheck era of Disney sucks ass. So it's looking so far. Maybe he'll redeem himself, but right now it doesn't look good. Baymax says Jedi Survivor is lowest common denominator, but it's also easy to remember and mass market. Agreed. Yeah, that's kind of where I was going with it. Like it's so simple, does it become like a 3-chord punk song where you're just like, I can't forget it, and now it's, they own the word.
Santa's looking forward to Star Wars Journey and Star Wars Chicago.
We kind of had Star Wars Chicago in 2019, but
culminating in Star Wars Kansas.
Greatest
ever.
He's all Star Wars Collins.
Star Wars Kansas, Wayward Sons. Can't wait.
Will says, I actually found Luke with a yellow lightsaber and the title of The Last Jedi on the old issue of Star Wars comic. Yeah, was it like 49, 40 something, I think. And yeah, that was a good issue too. I liked it. Soundwave says, Rob, I need that 3D trailer. So yeah, you
You know
guys.
what? My buddy just texted me that the digital theater put them up, so my source must have given it to them, and they have all the versions you're looking for: full SPS, IMAX, 4K, all that shit. So I'd go check out the digitaltheater.com. Should be right up on the front.
TheDigitalTheater.com has them.
Yeah, I saw
Very
that and I
cool.
was just waiting to get to it, but my buddy texted me. He's like, "They're up." I'm like, I knew they'd get out. Like, but yeah.
Yeah.
So they're right there right now.
Yeah, they should jump on that and just release it via the Oculus Quest store or onto YouTube, so you could watch it on your Oculus Quest via the YouTube app. Get with it.
They should.
Soundwave, especially if 3D. I mean, there's the biggest place to infect 3D audiences is Oculus Quest 2. Soundwave says, I literally paid to see Doctor Strange a second time only to watch the Avatar 2 trailer. That's I love hearing people that are that happy and enthusiastic about something. Like that's rad. Ben Bamboo says they should copy those in cockpit shots from Top Gun 2 and or hire its director for a Rogue Squadron movie or another Star Wars movie of that height, of that type. If not just using those techniques for Star Wars aerial battles. Well, that's where we run into like weird stuff. Like I could see doing the G4 stuff in Planet, like in sky combat, but then once you get out into space, Star Wars doesn't do that. So it's sort of weird, It's sort of it's a strange thing, We don't have that much in atmosphere space stuff in Star Wars. So I think that if they ever wanted to, they could. But also, how do you make an F-18's cockpit look like like an X-wing fighter? I mean, I guess you could. I guess you could just superimpose it on them over after or something. But yeah,
I just don't think they should be making a Rogue Squadron movie.
Fair enough. Real Ben Maynard says, any Grammar Rodeo updates? Any shot we get a celebration announcement? I go back and forth on that one. I do think if they want to make announcements and this is on the docket to be filmed, I think that they should. But by the way, I talked to a couple sources about Acolyte, and Acolyte was sort of delayed. I don't know what the whole intricacies of that was, but there were rumors that they were filming, and I got the inside scoop on that, and that's that Acolyte filmed their auditions. They built a little tiny stage, little set, and they filmed the auditions. Nice. And yeah, and so that's
Did they make them wear the Batman Forever outfit just because everyone has to do that now when they do an audition?
Yeah,
they have to put on the Batman Forever. They don't wash it either. It smells like 1994's Val Kilmer.
Gross.
To this day.
Yeah. But yeah, so they basically filmed that stuff. There was a rumor going around that I do not know the validity of for Acolyte, that it was going back for script revisions or changes. And the thing I am going to throw out there, if that has any water, this is just a theory of mine, that maybe there were story choices that were sort of undecided or that were kind of fluid. And then when they decided who was going to play who, and maybe like what the age was going to be of those characters and stuff like that, sex, gender, whichever happens to be, if any gender at all, maybe comes into play. Maybe that's when the revisions became more okay. Now we're gonna do this. We're gonna make this other character now she's 18 as opposed to a 40-year-old woman or man or whatever. And so that may be what happened there, but I should have some more details on it over the weekend. I hope if things go according to plan over the weekend, I'll have more on what went down with Acolyte and why it didn't film when it was originally supposed to. And I had one source tell me, are you sure that what you guys saw in the trades and all that jazz wasn't actually us just filming the audition process? And I said, well, I don't know that, but a lot of people were saying it was going to be filming, and then it didn't. And So, but I can only speak for myself and what my people are saying. And you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to throw shade at anybody else or question their sources or whatever, but this is what mine are saying. So Soundwave says, yes, Rob, you are right. The convergence was astounding. My name is Jonas, says, Yoon admitted that performing on a green screen was difficult. Now they are using LED screens. Yeah, the volume. Mando looked visually beautiful. Do you think this new tech benefits both visuals and actors' performance? Well, it definitely benefits actors a lot because they're not just having to pretend. Like they know where they're supposed to be and what's there and stuff like that. So performance wise, it's a big boost. The thing I've heard, and this technology is still like being developed and growing and stuff like that. But the thing I heard early on, and I don't know how true it is, but was that it works well for westerns. It works well for static shots and slow things. It will not work if you were trying to film like something with a lot of movement and speed and stuff like that. So it definitely has its limitations, but I would imagine that if they're gonna be able to increase that over time and it'll hit.
So,
Mhm.
two thoughts on that. One, we're gonna definitely find out what the limitations are when we all see Thor: Love and Thunder, because they shot primarily in the volume on that whole film.
Yeah,
So super interesting to see how that works out. And
right.
then two, I have a tremendous amount of sympathy to any actor who stepped on the set day
Mhm.
one of Attack of the Clones 2 and had no fucking clue that they were going to have to act in a giant blue void for
Attack of
like
the
3
Clones
months.
2. You weren't supposed to let that spoiler out of the bag.
Sorry,
That's
episode
that's the
2.
next Disney Plus show. Attack of the
Sorry,
Clones 2.
immersion. But
I know. I know
that
I
was
know what you
Boba
meant.
Fett. But yeah,
Yeah. Fair enough. I still love you, Boba. I still love
it's
you.
not. It's sadly it's not as exciting as Attack of the Clones. That can't
Attack
believe
of the
that
Clones
that
2.
happened. But just 3 months of everything you look is blue. I mean,
Yeah.
nonstop blue.
Well,
That I would go nuts. Like
but
it's
think
maddening.
about somebody like Ewan coming off of Star Wars in the past that was all blue and green screen and now has the volume. I mean, when we see the performance, we're gonna literally know. Well, some of it might just be that it's not George
Well, it's
Lucas
all
and stuff
20
like
years of
that.
just getting better too. You know.
Yeah,
But yeah, no,
has
no, Luca.
this is I love you and McGregor, but I gotta ask a fair question: has he got better in the 20 years? Because
Yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like he was
I'll tell
always
you that the
good.
better.
I feel like he's always good, but I don't. I want. I sometimes I wonder like
No,
did Ewan start
Fargo
good and
3 is
Fargo 3 is
he
good.
was good. He's super good. I would say the island's not so good.
Yeah,
The
but he was
real
looking at
contender for me
Scarlett
was
Johansson and probably was nervous.
yeah, the real contender for me was seeing was the actor Boba Fett. Fucking I'm brain
To,
farting right now.
Tamara Morrison.
Tamora Morrison. Yeah, his acting has. I don't think he's been a grand thespian for the last 20 years. You know what I
No, it's
mean?
just
He's
an
been doing what
action
he
hero
does.
guy. He's just a dude,
But
action dude.
but clearly he's doing a lot better. And I imagine seeing shit for real made a big difference. You know, like
Yeah.
that that blue shit, man. It's just every time I look at it, I'm like, it's walls of blue, and then on the next one, walls of green. I couldn't imagine. It would drive you fucking nuts. Just your eyes. You ever stare? So like they have this thing called Astro Bright sheets, right? Big neon sheets of paper. They have them like Walmart. Just take it out. We used to do this at Kinko's. Take that Astro Bright out and then just stare at the sun and go blind. You go fucking blind. Like, and if you
Yeah.
just stare at that green for God knows how many hours, they'd probably have headaches, you know, like daily
Well,
from
you're
that
on a
shit.
green screen, do you?
But everything's being covered, man.
I
Like,
know, I know.
so
Cameron,
different.
James. Hey, James, how's it going, man? Cameron is a poor man's Lucas. Ooh.
Yeah,
Fight,
I would love to
fight.
see Lucas just go underwater, let alone shoot a whole movie underwater. You know, like I'd
I
just
just
love
want
to
to see
see it
Lucas go to
happen.
a swimming pool.
Yeah,
Um,
wouldn't you? Do you think his trunks poof up? like they.
Oh yeah, he gets those like air pockets in his bubble, and he doesn't like he just leaves it. He just like walks around with it. And,
They call me Papa Nemoida.
speaking to all Rick and Morty, Will says, speaking to all Rick and Morty friends, here is a Doctor Strange 2 spoiler. It's actually missing Rick and Morty episode Vindicators Part 1. It's actually the missing Rick and Morty episode Vindicators Part 1. All right.
The last Rick and Morty episode I watched was Pickle Rick, and I felt like they just can't top it. I set it down. I'm like, I'll come back to this, but this was so fucking batshit crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I never ever could have seen any of that. I was like, this, I will leave it here for now. You know, like this is good. I don't want to. I'm not saying it was my favorite. I'm just saying that whole episode started one way and took you on a fucking adventure that I'm like, I don't know how you top that in this series. I just don't.
Jason, we are in need of Indy 5 updates and scoops, bro. Need some new Indy right now. I know. Indy was Indy was in some ways very leaky and in other ways not as leaky as you would expect, you know. But I'm still open, man. I would love to get some more Indy leaks and
Man's goal keeps it on a lock, man.
Right? Man, I'll be honest with you. He punched me. He punched me and he slapped me, and he said,
"You know what? Hold on, I'll let you finish. Go ahead."
No. I was just going with. Yeah.
I was rewatching Curve from the beginning, and I'm on season 2 when he's in the car and they're like him and his wife are like beating each other up for like a sexual kink, and this guy watched him and thinks he's actually beating his wife.
Yeah.
And then she kind of plays into it.
Yeah.
The social worker shows up and she's like, actually, like the beginning of the end. Yes.
Okay. Soundwave says, Rob, do you use full SBS, half or over, under, or frame packed? What's he asking?
I use full.
What's he asking?
Full side by side, full screen. It's like it's just a matter of compression or whatever. So I just always use the full SBS. Like the biggest files, the biggest whatever. There's no blurring, there's no ghosting. It's perfect. The convergence is spot on. Even with I don't know, man. Like it's all there on all the versions you want are all there on the digitaltheater.com. I just checked. So
okay. Marvel
side by
says,
side is SBS.
Okay.
Yeah.
I really hope Indy 5 is good. Yeah, you know, one thing that I could throw out there is I talked to somebody who worked on it. They weren't telling me anything. And for the record, like you know, I'll ask questions, but I don't push like sources. Like I don't ever want anybody going like feeling like they were pressured into leaking to me or whatever. So like we'll have a conversation. They start talking. Like that's always been my take. And so I was kind of like filling it out, and they weren't saying anything, but they did say that they think it's a really good movie. They think that they made a good film. And so I was like, well, that's all I could ask, you know, at the end of the day, like, you know, a lot of times people will make a movie and they'll be like, I don't know about that, or I don't know. And so when I don't hear that, it makes me hopeful.
I know that feeling.
But we will see. I mean, I don't know. Indiana Jones on one hand, super hard to make. On the other hand, shouldn't be as hard as it seems at times. I think so much of it's already been established.
Short round, man.
Yeah,
my favorite part of that movie.
I mean, what was that movie that he just did?
Everything, that's what I'm saying.
All at once, so good, so good. Yeah, fun movie.
I didn't. If
you're a Rick and Morty,
important.
Well, Rick and Morty people, they should see that movie. It's a Rick and it's like that's like aimed at Rick and Morty people.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I didn't realize how important that actor was to my childhood. Like, if he was my favorite child actor, like he's in Goonies, he's in Temple of Doom, and I watched those two more than anything. Like, like if you just you add it over and over again, I watched those two movies more than any two movies in the 80s. I think when I finally discovered The Breakfast Club, I didn't discover that until 87. That caught up because it's one of those movies you could just leave on. Yeah, you know, like it doesn't. It's got this.
It was on cable constantly. I just always watched it on cable.
Yeah, but he's so good, man. He's my favorite, and he's got he's a badass in that film, and he still has the heart. He's got all the acting chops. Like,
Wait, Breakfast Club?
Yeah, Breakfast Club.
He's not in Breakfast Club.
No, I was saying that when I those two movies I played the most, but then when I got to Breakfast Club later, I didn't watch in '85.
Okay.
That caught up in my queue.
Okay, I see.
I'm just talking about what I watch all the time.
I follow.
He's only for me in those two films. That's it, right? Like,
I was like, oh, great. If he thinks he's Long Duck Dong in the other movie, we're in trouble.
No. I was just saying in terms of what I watched the most. And then if Batman, and obviously, like, but not in the 80s. It's just for 10 years that Batman fucking film was like.
Well, I was talking about this the other day. Back then, our expectations were so low for big movies. They would talk about the movie of the decade. Today, a movie could not call itself the movie of the decade if it wanted to. You'd be like, you just couldn't do it. Like when Batman came out, the commercials were like the movie of the decade. And it was like, well, okay.
I didn't think it was better than Ghostbusters. Let's be honest. Like, that would be my pick of the movie. I mean, and one movie that had it all. It's just the problem though with Ghostbusters, it has that blowjob scene, and I just got real comfortable with my parents being in the room. You know, real uncomfortable.
Yeah, I Batman '89 to me still feels like a '90s movie to me in some ways, though.
No,
I don't know.
Totally 80s.
I feel like I feel like, yeah, I guess you're right. I guess I don't feel like I feel like the 80s ended in 91. That's kind of
Turtles feels like a 90s film. Like even it was made in 89, you know what I mean? Can release in 90, but like that doesn't, I don't mistake that for an 80s film.
It went hand in hand with new parents and the Barney bullshit that was to follow. Like in this weird way, you know?
No, I love that Turtles film, man. The first
No,
one.
I love but like Turtles and Barney, like Turtles gets really fucking stupid and really safe. And like the same parents that were letting their kids, buy that shit and were like those Barney kids. And that generation of their parents were just fucking crazy. I don't know what they're doing.
The crazy ones were the Teletubby parents. Let's be honest.
Yeah, same. I consider that. I consider that just the evolution of the same fucking weirdness, you know. But Ben says, Bamboo says, most people know by now, but having John Williams back to compose the Kenobi theme is almost godly. I hope so, dude. Like I said, like the Solo, a Star Wars story theme he did for Solo, I couldn't sing it to you right now if you paid me. I heard it a lot.
Yeah, I would. It's not godly, the Solo thing.
But it could be. I mean, it could be every now and then. You know, I mean, sometimes people in their later years will throw out a fucking rocking ass song and you didn't see it coming. So could it happen?
Johnny Cash.
It could. It could.
To be fair, it was a cover, but he did.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah. No, it's true. Yeah, he did it. He made it happen. But yeah. But I'm hopeful. You know. Tara says, listening to these guys love them, almost get in my car and just listening to come to one of their interviews. But then I'd be uninvited. You're always invited here, Tara. Baymax says,
not here in the Disney store.
Disney store.
The Disney store is only for me. Only for me.
Weirdos. Baymax says, isn't the search for Ezra Bridger comes to NT, it makes sense they don't find him or find out his fate until season 1 cliffhanger. Yeah, that's what I'm throwing out there is like I feel like maybe you find 1, not 2, and so what if he's not until the very end? What if he's not until like the last episode? What if he's not in most of the first episodes? I think that makes the most sense. And one of the things about it is it was a limited series and now it's not. So Real Ben Maynard says the Thrawn and Ezra casting fire got fueled by those Rosario sharing the picture of Lars and Mina and caption like I can't wait, then deleted it is why it ramped up too. Yeah. And she's probably just fucking, hitting the bong and saw some shit on there. It was like, cool, I got co-stars and retweeted it or something. And then now here we are.
I got co-stars and they're not Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Finally.
yeah. Chris Pewitt says, do you know when some more Kenobi promotion stuff will be out? Honestly, Chris, they got stuff ready to go. Stuff was supposed to be out and it kept changing. So I'm kind of shutting the fuck up about that until it's something very, very, very concrete. Because the stuff that's coming now, I don't, from what I know, it's not gonna fucking blow your mind. You know what I mean? It's not that amazing. So
Should have already
I
had
hope
the
I'm wrong.
Obi-Wan theme. By
Yeah,
the way,
well,
just being honest.
yeah.
Should
I
have
guess
already had it.
I don't think they want that out until closer to it. Closer to it. So I bet you we get it like the week of. But I would be all about it though. I'd listen to it now. Patrick says just picked up an Oculus Quest 2. Any recommendations for it? Ooh, there's a lot. Everyone's always gonna say Beat Saber is the one to like grab, and it that just depends on if you like that kind of thing, you know. But there's the Star Wars pinball game is good. Obviously, Vader Immortal, all three parts of that are definitely really good. Um, when it comes, and you could use your PC too, and you can play that Squadrons if you're down to a stream to your headset. Really fun to play. Star Wars Squadrons is fucking great. It's just like you're in an X-wing. It has a ton of immersion play value, and so that's something else that you can do on it. And I'm trying to think. There's a lot, man. There is a lot. I haven't played with my Quest in a little while. Um, VR chat's free, and you can get all the Star Wars avatars in there and stuff like that. And you can go to Star Wars environments, and they're not always that well done, but there are a few that are well done, and it's fun. I'm trying to think of but like what there is.
What I
What's
always
that?
recommend is if you got a decent PC, man, just get Streamlink set up. And if you go into Steam, there's a few
Oh,
really
yeah,
good
yeah,
RTSs. There's really good tactical like art game, and even if they're not your thing, when you're sitting there, like just open up your desk. When you're sitting there and you got all these fucking toys, like these little VR toys moving around, it's the coolest fucking shit ever. Like it's so good. And then
yeah,
you can also get Skybox set up. It's free. And you can stream movies like in a theater to your Oculus Quest. So you don't have to store them on there. And like that's how I watch all my 3D movies now when I'm by myself. Like that's my it's the best way to watch 3D for me, just because you never lose focus. I
right.
just lean back at a straw, like at the big 64 ouncer, the straw. I put on Mad Max Fury Road 3D and I just go whoa, or Avatar or whatever else. Like it's fucking great.
Uh,
So.
yeah. What do you call it? Amazon Prime has a really good theater app for there too. So if you have Prime, the Netflix ones are like cozy and nice or whatever, but the Prime one is really good. And I think I connected my Movies Anywhere account to my Prime account, and so I'm able to like go and like sit in their really nice theater that they made and use that. I'm opening up the Oculus app right now to see if it shows
Also,
me what my
Vader Vader Immortal is better when you stream it. Unfortunately, you got that stupid fucking cable. They're supposed to be setting it up. I don't know if
no
it's up
no
there. I haven't checked in a while.
you don't
You can
have
do it
to
now.
you can do wireless streaming now. Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
yeah,
Then if you do wireless streaming, fucking play the PC version of Vader Immortal. It is
yeah,
way better.
yeah,
Like not just graphically, which graphically it is way better, but like the Jedi training thing is fucking stupid on the Quest version. On the fucking PC side, you can get all these different sabers, Maul saber, all sorts of. It's fucking dope, dude. Like it's so good.
yeah.
It was a night and day. Those two ports. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
So
so we have like a lot of trash because we just had a really fun time. My kids love it. Gorn is a great time. Gorn's a good one. There's a Jurassic World Aftermath game that we bought. I
that's cool.
enjoyed it, but it's not great. But it's a fun
Yeah.
time.
It's
If
not
you
Turok. I want my Turok game in VR.
yeah,
How did Turok put Turok in VR? We hunting fucking dinosaurs and shit. You know what I
you
mean?
know
Like,
who owns Turok or who did anyway? It's Hayden Christensen. Hayden Christensen was supposed to make a Turok movie for years. He owned the rights to it. I don't know. He still does though. Um,
God
if you
bless
love
him.
If you love Mist, they ported Mist over, and it's really good. There's a National Geographic Explorer game. It's just real chill. I recommend buying it when it's on sale. It's good. Ocean Rift
don't
is
sleep
okay.
on don't sleep on these RTSs that you can stream to the set
Yeah.
though. Like there's a World War II one, there's some fantasy ones. They're fucking
If
awesome.
if you like first person shooters and online play, Population One is probably one of the. It's sort of like a Fortnite kind of PUBG style game. That one's really fucking fun. I'm trying to see. Yeah, Star Wars Pinball, Tales from the Galaxy's Edge. I recommend it. It is good. It's not a bad playthrough, whatever. Get Virtual Desktop. I recommend buying Virtual Desktop and using that to do your PC streaming.
Getting some
But
static? You or me?
I don't hear any. I don't know. I shouldn't have any static, but I recommend getting Virtual Desktop. Hopefully, I'm not getting static. But yeah, Virtual Desktop, and then yeah, YouTube VR. Also, I don't really like this game, but my kids love Waltz of the Wizard. It's just a real chill like kind of thing. I had a good time with it for like 45 minutes. But yeah, so if you're just looking to buy stuff, there's some good stuff out there, and obviously there's stuff like Beat Saber and so on, which is the go-to game. Beat Saber for me though was like an afternoon, and I was over it. So that's just me. Tara says Sweet Home Alabama. If you like CCR, it's a good song. No, is that Sweet Home Alabama? Oh, whatever. Joel says, Rob, once you're on the spectrum, I don't think you get off. That's true. Darth Grogu says The Northman was good. I kind of wish they made it a series instead of a 2-hour movie. Yeah, I gotta say, I loved the balls of the movie as it went throughout it. The ending, I don't know if I love the ending. I'm not sure if I did, but man, gotta say, Queen's Gambit, she's not getting any uglier. She just keeps.
She's Furiosa now.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, Miller's doing a prequel, and she's playing Furiosa.
All right. I say put her in everything all the time, every time. That weird eye looking girls, I like them. Arya says Kenobi news has settled down a bit. Nothing major has been announced by leakers. Not even the theme song has leaked.
You stop reporting new shit.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the other people to have the great scoops,
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of like what I was getting at is, there are windows usually for information. It doesn't mean that somebody might just not sit down and go, here's everything we filmed to somebody else. But people move on. Stop talking, memories fade. I got one source. I love this person, don't get me wrong, but I want to beat the shit out of them because they forget everything. They forget everything. Like no matter
Why
what.
would you tell him the thing that I told you was totally cool to say? That kind
Yeah.
of shit.
No, but
man.
the way that they explained it to me one time, and I get it, is they're like, do you remember what you did at work 8 months ago? That day. You might remember what the stuff you were doing that month and generally, but you don't remember every single day at work, do you? And I'm like, okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I get it. But yeah, I mean, and I'm gonna put out that video, like I said, maybe tonight, maybe soon. Hopefully tonight, though. I hope I could get done with it, and then we will get on. You will at least you'll have something. And I gotta say, there are still things that could come out, but what's gonna come out is the big stuff is done. Put the big stuff out. Then didn't leave any, left the small stuff. Just to happen. You know what I mean? Like if I don't know, Chewbacca's cousin Larry shows up or something in one shot, I don't know about that. But also, it's like kind of a who fucking cares after Qui-Gon. That's where I was. That's how I'm coming at it from, anyways. In terms of as a fisherman of spoilers, I don't really caught the big fish. Chris says, "Do you know when some more Kenobi promotion stuff will be out?" I think I already hit that. Next gen should be referred to as current gen, in my opinion. PS4 and Xbox should be called old gen.
I agree.
I know old gen. That she owes me $5. Marvel Mania.
I can't call her old.
Werewolf. Everybody has an ex named Jen. It's fair. It's
Bro,
okay.
I seem to be exclusively tied to gens for a number of years. It's like I can't shake them.
Yeah.
Turn around. Oh, you're great. What's your name? Oh,
I mean, I'm probably the only guy in the world who's dated 3 Roxys. I'll throw that out there. Marvel Mania says Werewolf by Night is a Halloween special for this year, and they're filming right now. Michael Giacchino, the famous composer, is directing it, which is really surprising. I remember I heard about this. I did hear about this. I remember now. Yeah, I'm interested to see how directing goes. It's either going to be one of those things where it's like the start of a new thing, or it's the start of Giacchino's nightmares of why did I ever try to direct something? I'm a music guy. But I wish him luck because I think he's fantastic. As a True says, some in my Discord have told me their YouTube recommended is flooded with Kenobi ending bad, and now they're worried but aren't watching. Good, yeah. Don't watch that shit.
they will. I don't. They will. They'll watch it. Don't believe anything they say.
To explain the situation. 27th can't come soon enough. Well, as
don't
as a True,
anything as a True.
I'm gonna put out a video that is going to generally say what's what and how this goes.
Point them to that.
And you can point them to that if they want to know spoilers. And
but
if their opinion lines up with any of their stuff after they see my video, which is very honest and very true.
As a True, you're young, so let me take you back to the prequels. All my friends hated the Phantom Menace,
except for me.
Right? They hated.
We were friends yet. Do I count?
I defended the Phantom Menace.
Okay.
They hated Attack of the Clones.
Okay.
They swore they would never watch anything. They're not going. Revenge of the Sith came out. They're all watching it. They all went. They all went and hate watched it, but they watched it.
Revenge of the Sith is like the best one.
Is these people will even lie to you and they'll tell you they didn't watch it. They're watching it. In the day of, and everyone's watching a Star Wars thing and they're not, they're gonna watch it. So just don't drive yourself nuts replying to any of it. Just wait till Jason gets his video, say it's there, and then save yourself some trouble because they're all watching it anyway. That's it.
Yeah. I agree.
They're watching.
I agree. Yeah. Well, no, I think he's saying that if the kids aren't watching the bad videos, they're like they know it's bullshit, so they're not watching it. I think that.
Okay. I thought he was saying they think they think they're not going to watch Obi-Wan now because of those videos. I thought that's what he said.
Doggies, rough.
And I'm like, that's bullshit. The minute there's Star Wars up, they're watching it. Whole internet's going to be like, there's new Star Wars up. I'm not watching. You're going to watch it. Like even if you don't like it, you're going to watch it. I watched fucking all 7 episodes of Boba Fett, and I knew it wasn't gonna. Yeah, you get through and you're like, this is going nowhere. But
there was greatness in there. We can't act like the train episode wasn't.
There was, but you knew it. Get those last 2 episodes. I'm like, there's no way they're fixing this.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Homeboy's up to bat, and here we go. But whatever.
Yeah, no,
the one that I held hope out for
I consider
was
it a
Rise of
disappointment.
Skywalker. I held hope out, bro. You know, like I, despite that fucking name, I was like, well, I think you could pull a win in adversity. Star Wars can thrive and under blah 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 blah. Nope.
Yeah, I'm getting static from you right now. I wonder if that's the static that you were hearing. Hold on.
You getting static from me?
Yeah, I pulled you out and put you back in to see if that fixes it. But yeah, Marvel says it's a shame that happened as a True. People are so easily manipulated by what they watch online. It's crazy. Yeah, I'm not sure if it was saying the one way or the other way, but hopefully they watch it and they don't like it. They just stop watching. That's always the best thing to do. Try something, don't like it, stop. Aria says these morons on YouTube are even mad about Reva sensing Kenobi when they land on Tatooine, saying why she should be the one sensing and not the Grand Inquisitor. These people, yeah, because if that was the case, he would have went and found him by fucking Star Wars Rebels, wouldn't he? He would, if he was so fucking good, he would have not died in the first season of Star Wars Rebels. If he was so fucking good, Yoda, Kenobi would be dead. But he's an arrogant fucking idiot. He's fucking dumb, and he doesn't understand the right way to do things. But whatever, though. Once again, like those people. Tara says, I don't want to go out on a leg here and say that I think some may have a handicap of Asperger's. I say that I think Some.
What, because of
Well,
my cursing? No, a military gave me the cursing, my friend. You know, I don't know. Oh wait, that's no, that's that other one. I don't know what Asperger's. I don't have any fucking issues. I've been checked. I'm just
yeah.
stupid. All right, like I got all
Yeah.
the mental
I
MRIs and
promise.
everything. I wonder. I'm slightly dyslexic,
Me
and I have
main weapon, Rob.
and I suffer from synesthesia. That I do have. I see
Yeah.
fucking colors where there should be words and shit. It's fucking annoying. So, other than that, I'm just stupid. I'm the
Yeah.
product of not really paying attention in school, but still managing an A average somehow. And fucking,
I'm the
and
product of being hotbox since
yeah,
about the age of
yeah.
being born.
And working from home for the last 20 years hasn't helped. I don't know if you guys noticed during COVID, if you ever worked from home, you can get a little nutty. This is what 20 years of it looks like.
Yeah,
Right
yeah.
here.
I can't
Yeah.
lie. There were times when I felt comfort in the whole we don't have to go out now. It's like cool.
It's my whole childhood, man. I'm
Cool.
like, I was born for this.
Yeah.
I was made and
I've been
trained for
prepared
this.
for this my whole
Yeah,
life.
I'm invincible. I could do this forever.
Those
No one
fucking
gets now. You get to be in my little hell.
yeah, we were digging bunkers before people knew what the bunker was going to be. Ben said, "Yep, there's nothing but sad racist white replacement theorists, and it's pathetic." Yeah, the thing is like that. When it comes to like, it's weird, man, because like I don't want to like call anybody a racist. I don't want to, and I just think that it's like in a weird way sometimes people could be a part of systemic racism and not realize it.
Misogyny. Don't ever
And
underestimate that being a big part of it too, my friend. You
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Anytime the new female character appears in a Marvel movie, I got at least one or two friends who are gonna go, "Why is it gonna be another girl?" I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
I mean,
Man?
I mean, we do see like guys with fucking tiki torches and the and all that stuff, and they are like literally like the cartoon characters of the Geraldo Rivera 80s interview of a KKK person. Those people do exist, but is that really how normal racism propagates itself now? It's not. It's actually through the system. It's systemic racism is the actual issue, and people who lift it up accidentally, and then they don't feel that they're a part of it because they don't actually necessarily hold racist ideals, but they become propagators of white power in that way. That's my opinion. That's what I've seen, and that's with me trying to look at people in the best light possible. You know what I mean? Trying to think of like people aren't necessarily as evil, but they just don't understand what they're doing. And some of them fucking do though. Some of them know exactly what they're doing. Tara says Star Wars makes us all crazy. It's like love, Tara. You get a little crazy when you're in love. Sorry guys, I don't care if Star Wars now has Star Wars at home. I'm a Disney girl. Do you, girl? That's what I say. Jumping ship. Gotta do what you gotta do. Darren says one thing I really want for Kenobi is after the series, fans actually just turn around and say they were wrong about their fears of a character, even for Moses Ingram's sake. Yeah, that's the thing is that they don't do that. We're all wrong all the time, and he's got to either say I'm wrong or move on. But I have a feeling that if what we're seeing, I have a feeling what we're seeing is a trailer of things to come, and just like I said, she senses Kenobi or whatever. People are mad about that. I don't know every single little tidbit. I don't know every single angle that they can attack this from, but they're looking for it. It's like Star Wars Center brought up that movie 23 about the guy Jim Carrey who like looks for the number 23 and everything. These people look for that stuff and everything. They are the number 23. It's whatever their number 23 is, they're gonna find it. So maybe Darth Grogu. I thought it said maybe Grogu. Darth Grogu says maybe certain people want Kenobi and Vader to recreate Brokeback Mountain for 6 episodes. Hey, I do what I say. Arya says the negativity of the show is ruining my hype. It feels like now that YouTubers hate it. So does everyone. So does everyone because of how large their voice is. Well, maybe we should stop talking about it and just focus on the show.
Can I add to this? this
Mhm.
is also why this is not new to Kenobi. This has been the really crappy level of Star Wars discussion for years now. You were the only person I could listen to talk about Star Wars, and to some extent, Harloff was pretty good.
Mhm.
I just always preferred when Schnepp was on the show. I like Schnepp's fucking opinion, and
Okay.
Schnepp passed away, so whatever.
Yeah.
But you Harloff, but you were the only one who would always bring up production. You know what I mean? Like the reality of like I would like this, but also here's how shit gets made, and here's how things are being decided, and this is the reality of like how things actually work. That's
Right.
just not going to happen, Arya. Like, and there's nothing. It's not going to happen through the majority of the YouTube discourse because they are designed. Their shows are designed around the algorithm feeding you what the algorithm feels, and it fuels hate. Hate fuels rises to the top when it comes to nerd news. Like, I gotta tell you, I have never once, Jason, ever fucking clicked on any right wing bullshit anything. And it to this day, it constantly goes, here's Jordan Peterson, Rob. Here's fucking this. Here's that. I'm like, what do you. All I watch is this show and fucking Arl Nuts. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like some Campia and mostly fucking like people doing pastel demos or painting demos. It's mostly art I watch on YouTube. And it's just like, here's more right wing shit, Rob. Here's more right wing. So it's doing that.
What I find weird about it is I watch a lot of left wing shit on YouTube, and it still does that to me.
Yeah,
And
you
I'm
know what?
like,
I watch TYT, and then it still sends me. Here's Jordan Peterson.
see,
Here's fucking Ben Shapiro. I'm like, I don't.
that's what
You
I
got me
think
on
it
that
is.
one.
Is I think there's this like in the Venn diagram, there's this like overlap, and the people who watch everything to get outraged about whatever it happens to be, both things,
But I
and then they're like,
actively
oh,
don't
they must
recommend
like
those
it.
channels, and I
Yeah,
actively report them. You'd think at some point, but it doesn't care. So
yeah,
I just wouldn't worry about this is going to be this way for every Star Wars everything. And then when something takes off like the Mandalorian, they'll just stop. That you are
yeah.
1,000% right because that Woe Mandalorian shit was nonstop at the beginning of the Mandalorian, but when everyone fucking loved Baby Yoda, right, and that took off, they all shut up.
And,
Like
and
they all
then
just stopped.
when Gina
Right.
Carano went batshit, they were like, thank you.
Yeah.
Now we have her
Then it
in.
come.
Now we
Then it
have
comes
her
down.
in. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But yeah. Rough Collies asked, do we think that the negativity towards the leak will impact the viewership of the show? I do not think it will. I think that the actuality of the Star Wars community online who are active, who feel one way or the other, actually isn't shit compared to the general population. And the other thing is I think if you stepped outside of the Star Wars population, looked at the film going community, for instance, most of them don't know any of the leaks anyways. Most of them, they don't hear any of the stuff. And it doesn't really permeate into it very, very much.
My
And
wife lives with me. She doesn't know about any of that shit. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like she doesn't. Just even what she just sees doesn't. So no, the average person out there has no fucking. And then when I go to the barbershop, that's the one I ask. I got 5 of them in there. They're all of the Clone Wars age. They grew up with the Clone Wars. One joined the military because poor Lucas kind of sold him on that. Love of Marines. He started with Halo, worked his way up through the Clone Troopers. Ended up in Afghanistan, sadly. But
yeah.
they don't know about any of this Reva hate shit. They've never heard it. It's seriously, it's a very loud, tiny little bubble. You
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
He says that people are spreading the stuff like wildfire, saying it's going to be the Reva show. It's going to be the worst thing ever. Yeah. And it's like, number one, if it was the Reva show, what would make it the worst thing ever? That's something worth asking. But also, it's not the Reva show. It's that she's
Go
a
watch.
character. No,
Go
I
watch
know.
The Queen's Gambit if you'd like to see her acting chops. Because she's fucking awesome.
Yeah, she's really good. Tara says haters gonna hate, let characters evolve. Exactly. But it's just I still can't get over the fact that people are upset that there's not just 2 dudes in the show and that's it. Oh, they should be the Kenobi Darth Vader show. This why are they getting in the middle of my boys? It's like, what are
Also,
you fucking
when
on
are we
about?
getting Mara Jade? When we get Mara Jade?
Yeah.
also at the same time, Disney won't let him have Mara Jade.
I hope Mara Jade comes out and she has blonde hair.
I want to know we're getting Arden Lynn, right? Master of Tarakasi. What?
Terrace Kasi.
My girl.
Not Turok. It's a whole martial arts in Star Wars. You need to respect it.
I
It is deep
respect it. I
within
wrote a
our
whole
culture.
screenplay in
God
1999 about it.
damn
That's how
it.
fucking much I
Now,
respect it.
now fucking Reva's going to take over the whole fucking show thanks to you. Fucking asshole.
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah.
sorry, dude.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Star Wars is dead. Then
My
why
bad.
are you here, dude? If Star Wars is dead, why
As
is
they
it making
comment
you
2 hours
clicky
plus
click?
into the show?
Real dead.
Don't worry, Avatar is here to replace it for you.
Yeah.
You're not going to get anyone complaining about someone taking over the Sully's position in the movie, right?
I hope you're drawing a picture of Reva in Avatar. Yeah. Reva
Surprisingly, I
Avatar?
don't really do much Star Wars artwork.
Yeah.
I did One Piece 7 years ago, and I've been like, I put 100 hours in that. I don't want to touch it.
It's good though. I saw it.
I thought about updating it, but I love that it has all the characters people hate now. Like it has no Mando in there. It's just JJ and Kathleen Kennedy right on there. I love it. I get the little hate posts every now and then. It's the best.
Will Morgan says, if you think Star Wars is dead, there's more than a very good chance that you are the one who killed it. you can definitely kill it for yourself. Jedi Eye of the Tiger. That's what I say. That's what I said. Darth Grogu. All right, let's see. We need to get out of here. I need to go work on that video. Jason, any recommendations for the Oculus Quest 2? I just picked up mine today. I already answered that one.
We did.
Hey, it's Meg. I didn't know Meg was here. Oh, I'm so far fucking behind. Meg, I'm sorry. I would have invited you to the show. After she says the Star Wars Squadrons Hunted CG short film Island made was fantastic. That was fun. And as a tree, you should come hang out on the show sometime again with me and Meg and Rob. It'd be a good time. D'Angelo, do you think we'll get Kevin Feige Star Wars announced at Celebration? Maybe. I'm not too. I don't think we should be too hopeful for too many announcements. If it's not filming, I don't think they want to do it.
By the way, Beverly D'Angelo and hair is worth sitting through the shitty singing.
Yeah.
Putting that out there.
Yeah. Star Wars makes says Jordan Peterson, Ben Shapiro fans are the worst, most insane people on planet Earth. What, you mean they're not the best and the brightest? What is this spoiler you're giving me? Real Ben Maynard says on racism, I choose both sides. Like if I like Reva, I'm woke. If I don't, I'm racist. Can't win with the extreme sides. It's annoying as fuck. Yeah. But see, that's where they gaslight you, Ben. Is that what they do is they poke the bear of racism to monopolize and to capitalize off of it.
Or misogyny.
Or misogyny. And then when you call them on it, they gaslight you and go, I'm not racist and I wasn't saying that. That's you jumping to conclusion.
Shit to admit the shit they actually believe, which is the one that gets me the most. Because they're always like, I stand for, just say what you believe. Just own up to
like
your
I
shit.
said.
Don't go blaming. Jason said it was a bait and switch. That fucking never happened. Dude, show me the clip. You know?
I've had enough, like when I was in grad school, I've had enough like 60-year-old college students who go back to school to just have really good things that I don't think they're bad people on purpose, but they are systemic racist. And I think that is that's my take on what needs to be fixed in the world, because we are a little bit beyond, I don't want to overstate anything, but we might be beyond the real cartoony Geraldo racist, and the way that it propagates today is a little bit different. The system is infected. KG says extremist views are exactly the problem. It's true. Jonas says Qui-Gon appearing in Qui-Gon. Did Liam Neeson shoot scenes or is he created using CGI? Any knowledge of this? Best of my knowledge, he was actually there. It's the Leia show. That's what they should be saying. That could be the actual fear, Arya, and that is, if I actually, I'll be honest. If I have a fear right now, that is my legit fear. Is that it? This,
as I know, as a
not in terms of screen time, but just in the sense that it like she, if she sucks, she's going to be what sticks out and what you remember from the episodes.
I know Meg's a big prequel person, and I know she's hoping that Ewan's statements about there's more things to come, or he was talking about the discourse on YouTube.
Okay.
It means more prequel stuff, but it doesn't. It means Leia. Like the only other prequel stuff I can imagine the show is the Qui-Gon bit. Like I actually think, showing Kitster and some of that stuff would be great, but I just don't see them. I think back in the day when there was the idea of an old Jar Jar in that movie, right? That that was something, but I do think they are extremely prequel shy to this day. Like, I do.
Chosen One says, do you guys consider Legends an alternate universe from an in-universe perspective? I kind of go with it in the sense that I never loved Legends. Like, it was never like my favorite thing. So like the way I take it is that it like those things are stories maybe that are like incorrect history in Star Wars, but I don't really take it too seriously to like think that like Luke Skywalker knows of a book called Heirs of the Empire or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it that far. But do I think that there's parts of the galaxy that maybe believe Grand Admiral Thrawn did something that he did in those books but doesn't do in the series? I'm okay with that to some extent.
All comics, books, and video games are alternate universes. I don't care what they say. Don't fucking tell me that the characters we just experienced in the Boba Fett show went through the War of the Bounty Hunters 20 years prior.
Yeah.
They didn't do that. It didn't happen. So,
right.
Sorry.
Deborah Trout revealed that Filoni helped a lot with canon and with the show, but they don't talk about that cool fact. Yeah, I mean, it's the Lucasfilm Story Group all read whatever script that they had and gave input. They all did. So, you know, I almost feel like the Filoni thing is a bit of a marketing angle that they're taking. Like, you liked Mandalorian, well, don't worry, he's, you know, but I don't know everything. It could be wrong. All these grifters are rich frat boys in Animal House. Mess with them if you get a chance. Yeah,
it really does feel like we're dealing with the fucking rich kids in a shitty college fucking movie. And honestly, and this is just my bias, I believe we represent the real fucking like nerds. Like the real low. We're not dressing up these fucking thumbnails, you know, we're not in here trying to give you like, we're not putting chanting Star Wars like music. We're referencing
Red Eyes.
You can't do that on television. We're referencing Iron Eagle and War Games daily. We're fucking talking about how many times Rob may have watched Clue more than the fucking Return of the Jedi. You know? Like,
and most of all, we eat our wives.
What is he wearing? What is this? Is it a scalp? Like, I don't. Yes. This is the real nerds.
Kenobi, a pork and Star Wars story. For me, canon is what's on screen. I agree with Rob.
And even then, it's a canon is a living document, as Jason said, because in 2 movies, Luke can be chasing after Leia, and then in the 3rd one, find out that's your sister, and then literally have a conversation with Obi-Wan about how all the times he lied to him. He goes, well, it's from a certain point of view.
What they're going to do, like when Leia finally is like up in their face in the forefront, that's when they're going to latch on to the fact that help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope, means Leia shouldn't know Kenobi. Kenobi shouldn't know Leia. And they don't know what they're doing in their canon, and they're just making it up. So, Clue shills confirmed. That's true. We are Clue shills.
I am. Carrie Fisher was going to be in Clue, so it's technically Star Wars news.
According to my YouTube analytics for a few years, most of my audience watch Order 66 montages. Anakin killing younglings. Why the Last Jedi is bad. New Vader movie. Revenge of the Sith is a great film, but created this. Laugh out loud. Wow.
Listen, people, you gotta kill kids and you gotta eat their ass. Listen up. Wake up, people! Wake up! Who doesn't want to watch a bunch of kids being killed in a galaxy far, far away on repeat, on a loop?
What if
never happened?
just hear me out here. What if
Sandy Skyhook?
What if Chemtrails wrote the script for episode 9?
Mr. Chem, last name Trails.
Ewan roasted the breakdowns of the trailer yesterday, saying that the YouTubers were completely wrong about everything. Yeah.
He didn't watch this show.
Don't do it, Ewan. He didn't see the show. We see Jimmy Schmitz, right? Laugh out loud. Yeah, Jimmy Smits. Yeah, Jimmy Smits. He's all up in the shit.
Jingleheimer Smits.
Well, that's and
Schmitz,
I want to add that. I want to add that to your Leia thing. Jimmy Smits showing up is that prequel thing that I think Ewan's talking about. That's and that's one of his co-stars of the movie that he was in that nobody's supposed to know is in the new series.
I will say this, as not much of a prequel fan as I am,
Hmm?
when he shows up in Rogue One, like when I was in the theater watching it in the
Hmm.
IMAX back in 26, I actually got a little weepy. I was like, I
Yeah.
didn't know I was nostalgic for this motherfucker.
Oh yeah,
You know,
it's the best.
you got me. You got me, Lucas.
Yeah. Well, everyone, it's time to go. And if you're still here, just letting you know, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Get the fuck out of my house.
Well, I'll release that one video, and we'll be back to Monday. It's Friday, right? We'll be back to Monday.
Today was Saturday.
No,
So-
it's to Monday. It's
Yeah.
today is we'll be back to Monday. All right. Bye everybody. Thanks everyone who's a channel member. Like the video if you haven't, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye.
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
You know you should go.
Come on, let's go. It's not about spaceships.